and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Pork and Bean Show, starring two of the world's foremost ascended disasters, Pork Cunningham and the world's handsomest man, Frank Bean. Sit back, relax, and stay a while, and access the far recesses of your imagination, as far as the universe that you can imagine beyond. And let us introduce you to the world of the Sasquatch people and their message of love, their message of hope, and their message of connection. Well, he doesn't like me that much.
Nobody likes you that much.
He doesn't really like me because I was telling him a bunch of stuff that was true and really weird and odd, and then it all happened for him, and now I think he's embarrassed. I don't know.
By continuing to be in this meeting, you're consenting to be recorded.
Okay, so I'm going to...
I will give you my recording consent by pushing on continue. I had something really dramatic happen today.
Hang on a minute, Beans.
See this right here? This is my mouse, and it looks like it's it's just like a regular mouse, but it's dying on me. How can a mouse? And this is like 2018, I think I got this mouse. So now I have to use my old mouse. So now I have two mouses. This one is the dead mouse, or this one's dying. It needs prayers. It needs mouse prayers. And this one is an old one from like 2012, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's fascinating.
I just and look, I don't know if you can see it. It's got a little.
No, I'm trying to set the show up. I heard something about dead mice.
It's got a little green thing on it here. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. There's a little tiny.
Yeah.
There it is. You can see that little green thing. That means it's working.
Awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if do you think you can send it to a hospital? Do you think they have mouse hospital?
I'm sure they do. Although I don't know if it's worth fixing.
I think this thing costs like about
95.
Huh?
What are they worth? Like $10?
She's talking about $90 for a Apple mouse. $90.
Oh.
That's why it's tragic. And this one has the batteries inside, and you plug it in and charge it up. But this one, you have to take where you go? You have to take you have to pull that little thing down there. It's got two batteries in here.
Now, talking about batteries, I went to camp. Well, not camp, but there's a little tent city in Peace Arch where the Americans and Canadians go and meet, like it's a neutral ground. So everyone sets a tent up. And I had my little air mattress there, and I got there, and my batteries were dead. So I learned a lesson. The batteries don't last long for the D battery. So instead of deflating it with the pump, I'm just going to do it naturally. Okay, I'll get twice as much use out of it. I got like 5 uses out of it, and the battery was dead. You know.
You have like, you don't have to blow into your mattress.
No, I just got a little thing that sticks in there, and I turn it on, and battery operated, and it blows it up itself.
Then where you have to, you have to charge up the little thing from your car battery or something, or from your house.
No, man, no charger, just batteries, and you dispose of them, and they only last about 5 times.
Like these little batteries, or big,
No,
or the
like
big,
D's. Those ones don't last.
the big fat ones, right?
Big fatties. Hey, anyway, guys.
So like, what, 2 of those D's cost like $5, right?
Yep. Sam's in the waiting room, so and we got no ordinary Joe in there. Well, where is Barbara? Where is Barbara? I better go and check to make sure that she's.
Yeah, talk to Barbara. I mean, she's the guest, and you're supposed to like talk to her, the night before, and say things like, "I'm really looking forward to our meeting tomorrow, to our talk tomorrow," and that reminds them.
Oh yeah. Well, I think she's on. I think she's seen it. I'm just gonna go and check. Oh, there she is. There she is. Yay. Okay. So hey everybody, this is the Pork and Bean Show. I'm Pork Cunningham. I'm here with my distinguished, honorable co-host, the world's handsomest man, Frank Oliver Baines. And welcome to our show today. We've got Barbara Jean Lindsey on, and it's going to be fun.
I'm using my very old mouse. This is an old, mature. It has a beard like me. My mouse. And my new mouse is my new mouse. Oh, there's Barbara. Barbara, can you do a healing on my mouse?
Oh yeah, I'll get right on that, Michael. Okay.
Seriously though, I mean, I thought they were like $10 or something. He's telling me that mouse is like $100. How much is it?
It's like $90 for what do you call it? An Apple mouse.
$90 US?
$90 US.
That's like $1,000 Canadian, man. That's like a ripoff. $90.
Yeah.
That's a whole paycheck for me.
Here's the thing is with this, even though it's a newer mouse and it's got a inside battery and all that kind of stuff, when you click on it, it won't open anything. So if you click on an application or click on, say, a like or a little heart, you have to go click, 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 and nothing happens.
Oh.
That was my concern. But I have my old standby mouse, which has batteries in it, and you can charge up the batteries. Plus, I just have a ton of batteries. I bought a whole bunch of of batteries.
Oh wow!
These are ever Energizer rechargeable.
This is
so I got a lifetime supply of batteries. I'll never run out.
This is edge of your seat stuff you're sharing with us here.
Well, people need to know that sometimes tragedy hits your life, you know?
Well, like I said, it hit me. I was blowing up the air mattress for Stu and I for our little Tent City visit, and the batteries were dead.
If your favorite mouse in the has to go to the hospital, and you get all concerned about things.
How many you got?
Mouse?
Mises.
Two Mises.
Isn't it Mises? I hate them Mises to pieces. When it's more than one, it's Mises, right?
I'm still concerned about the initials on my little thing. It says Frank Oliver Beans, but the initials on the little icon says FO, just sort of like fuck off.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much the sentiment. But you keep showing up.
No respect.
You keep showing up, so.
Poor Cunningham has like a picture of him and his wife.
Yeah. Hey, so anyway, we had Barbara on not too long ago, and it was what a great show. the biggest viewership we had, and I guess it was because it was so much fun with the readings and whatever. So I'm going to. I've actually did a little bit of pre-show stuff. I actually got about 4 or 5 pictures of people and some questions
Oh,
that I can throw at you, and then we've also got some people that are going to come on live. So you wanted to do readings and stuff, right?
sure. It's what I do,
Okay.
among other
So
things.
so what have you been up to? You've been having some fantastic shows, amazing shows. Tell us about some of your shows that you've done the last month or so.
I just had Leon Beebe last night, and I mean, he's amazing, amazing. And I met him like 10 years ago at Contact in the Desert. He had this little booth and table, and he was just standing there minding his own business, kind of quiet, and he had this beautiful book, and I picked up the book and we just started talking, and that was his first book. And over the 10 years he's passionately now gone down the rabbit hole of DNA and ET and alien, who are we? Are we a hybrid? And went down the Zacharias ditch. And
Well, he says feels like he has some actual data, actual proof that we are a hybrid ET. How cool is that?
oh, yeah. And so, and he's doing a documentary. And so in 10 years, now he has 3 books, and he's doing a huge documentary on his findings about that. And just really happy to have him on. And before him, I had Joseph Selby on, I don't know if I have his book around here, but he's amazing as well. He's I don't, has like 4 or 5 degrees. I'm sorry. I'm in it at the moment, and then I just kind of put it away somewhere, but he's brilliant as well about who are we, why we're here, and maybe look at a few different alternative aspects, that everything we've been told maybe is a lie, and that we get to open it up and really explore why we're here and what we're doing. And
That's what we need. That's what we need on the Pork and Bean Show. Why are we here and what are we doing? We need that.
I don't know. Some people really do, So I don't know. So that's my story.
Didn't you have some nuclear physicist guy too?
Yeah. And for me to talk with him, I mean, I'm not even college educated, right? So to keep up with him is, I don't. But I think it's when you drop into the heart and you start talking heart to heart, then everything just kind of opens up in that moment of what's supposed to come through. And I've been lucky so far, probably,
I used to drive by a college every day when on my way to work. I figured that's close enough.
So things are happening. I was really sick. I got really sick.
Oh no.
And I was supposed to go to the SASQUATCH psychic reunion, and I was really looking forward to it, and I just got really, really sick and kind of took a month off from work. I did a couple of my shows, but I had to just kind of lay in bed and kind of go in between the worlds and
Wow.
be there.
So you mean like the delirious sleeping weirdly and dreaming funny and feeling awful and don't feel like doing anything kind of stuff?
Yeah.
That's the no fun mystical experience. It's the no fun mystical experience.
It is. And I just had to work with my body. I've been telling my body to catch up for a long time. I've been really busy, busy doing this and doing that and writing and talking. And my body just said, you know what, I think we need to rethink this.
Well, Barbara, if you ever sick again, and well, hopefully not, you can always just plug the Pork and Bean Show into your slot, and I'm sure that we'll do wonders for your reputation.
I'm lucky that I have you guys, and I have a lot of friends that are healers. So they found out I wasn't feeling good. So I was contacted from people I haven't talked to in a long time, and they said I had a feeling to call you and see what's up, and I just got all these feelings. And so, long story short, I just went to the doctor last week, and what was happening totally miraculously disappeared.
Wow.
So prayer works and healing works and connection works and letting go. And I think I just was starting to buy into who I thought I was. And I don't ever want to do that. I want to always be open and see what spirit brings. And I like change. So anyway, so that's my story. That's where I've been. And haven't had much Sasquatch contact. I've been thinking about them a lot in my meditation today. I was laughing. I go, okay, look, I'm going on Pork and Bean Show. I need some like Sasquatch stories like right now, okay? And I just start laughing. And I just have this like rush of wind like come from the left and go through, and connect with that. So they're there and I can feel that. But I don't have any stories to offer and I don't have a lot of concepts to give either. So I'm just where I am.
So you feel that confirmation or that energy on the wind?
Yeah.
You feel it? Oh, interesting. There's a lady that lives downstairs from me. Her name is Mary. And when her and I, every time we talk about our we feel them really strong and we get this energy in our head and a feathery,
Yeah.
kind of really loving kind of energy. So it's interesting all the different ways that they can
Come through.
connect with you, eh? So what is that wind? Describe that wind kind of thing or whatever for us. How does that work and what does it feel like?
It feels very nurturing and very motherly in a way, because when it comes through, it doesn't come through in a straight edge. It comes through like, kind of soft, kind of serpenty in a way, where it just kind of goes through and moves through and it kind of like shakes you up, kind of like I'm the bug and that's the zapper coming through and cleaning out my auric field and cleaning out all my crap, and just kind of resetting me and just saying, hey, hello, you're a part of this. We're together. We're one. We're here. You're not separate. So many times you feel like you're separate. That's, I think, when you do possibly, get sick or all those sorts of things. So it was just like a nice hello love zap through.
And there's information and everything on it.
Yeah. And this was, I didn't smell anything. Usually with the Sasquatch, I have a smell, but none of that came through either. But hey, the show's not over yet. So usually when you, Brian, and I get together, some things happen, right?
Quite often, yeah. Energy gets going anyway. I can feel them. Yeah, I'm feeling them just when you said that. That's cool. So
it was because of you two guys that my little mouse died? Did you do that?
I think so.
Too much power, and it just my mouth just shriveled.
Well, you're an ascended disaster, so maybe you're draining the energy. Like how some people walk under light things or whatever, the big street lights. And
I'm lucky to be here on doing kind of technical anything. So
you're just too powerful, Mr. Beans.
Yeah,
I know.
That's exactly it.
Too powerful. So listen. So
I don't want to self-blame myself for mouse abuse.
So
it could be mouse abuse. I was just poking it too hard or something, or demanding too much of it while it was still young.
Hey, you know what? And I was really mad too, because like when I eat my M&Ms, I have to have the little brown ones. I take them out. I save them for last, right? Okay.
Well,
I know this is related to the mouse story, so that's why I said it. So I leave the brown M&Ms for last. So I've got all my brown ones all saved up, and then I found this little baby one. Like obviously they give birth, because there was one that was like an eighth of the size. It was just a little tiny one, and it was brown.
It was only an M.
It was only just a newborn, and Sue ate that thing, and then she started eating all my brown ones like out of order. That was not good. I was pissed off. But don't people do that, right? You must do something weird with candy or something, right? Don't you? No, you don't have that. Okay, whatever.
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to anybody who wants to answer that.
But how's that abuse? It was you were the one who was abused.
Well,
not
the
the
little guy
kid.
was just newborn, for one thing. And he was a little brown guy, which the brown ones I always say for last. Because they all taste the same, but I got myself convinced that the little brown ones taste better. Maybe because they're more naturally
So
chocolate.
this was racism. This was racism. This was a little brown boy abuse.
Well, I guess I'm guilty as charged. I guess, yeah. I'm not perfect. Anyway, look, Joe, no ordinary Joe Ethier, my friend here. He's got
Right
kids
here.
today. He's got kids today. So why don't we start off with Joe, and you can ask a question or a reading or whatever you would like to inquire about, Joe.
Yeah. Hi, Barbara. How are you? Barbara Jean, how are you?
Hi, Joe. No Ordinary Joe. It's our first meeting up, I think.
No, you have done a reading for me before, but that was not live. This is our first face-to-face live meeting, but I did send in a comment and you did a reading for me.
It's your anniversary.
And since then...
Oh, it's an anniversary. That's sweet. I like that.
I guess my question is, we went out to, well, I can't say where. Brian doesn't want us to know where we went, or everybody to know where we go. But we went out on the 5th of May for, what would you call it, a retreat or expedition,
Yes.
or whatever you want to call
When I
it.
hosted the RE,
and it was an incredible, and it was an incredible experience, I think, for everybody. And I probably got a bit more of a dose of, I guess, treatment, we'll call it, than others, possibly. I don't know, but I'm just wondering if you're aware, or if you can tell me if I brought anything home with me. And I just wanted to, I was the guy that asked you the question. I had something in my house and I could see it. It was always something I could see out of the corner of my eye by the fridge, and between the wall and the fridge. And you told me that there was something there, and that there was a problem with it because it felt like it had seniority, and that was what you had told me. And I haven't seen it in a long time. I haven't seen it, and it's been since I left for that trip that I haven't seen it. And there was was it Sunday? Yeah, the Sunday after we came back, I'm laying in my bed, I'm sleeping, it's the middle of the night, and I hear 3 very crisp taps on my window, which is 2 feet from my head. And when I heard it, my eyes just popped open, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I sat up, ripped my mask off, and I looked, and I didn't see anything. And I didn't really feel anything, but it just woke me right up. Like, I was literally wide awake, like out of a sound sleep, and those 3 taps, just tap, tap, tap. And I haven't heard it or seen it since then. So I don't know. I'm just wondering if I brought something home with me.
Yeah,
something followed me home. What can you tell me about that?
It's interesting about the 3 taps, because I think we've talked about this before, or one of my shows, or with Brian and Mike. I had a similar experience. First, my sister woke up and had 3 knocks and scared the heck out of her. And I got the flashlight and looked around at her house, nothing. And then I fell asleep. She fell asleep in her room. I was on the couch, and she left for work. And right after she left, I heard 3 more knocks on the front door with nothing. Opened it, nobody there, nothing. Then my other sister, who lives a mile or so away, called me about 45 minutes later, and she also was taking a nap and woke up with 3 knocks on her door as well. So it was within all 3 of us sisters all heard the knocks all within a 12-hour period. And so I started studying. I had to research it. You've probably done the same thing, of where these knocks, it can go to folklore from Ireland, and knock is that someone's going to die in your relations, and I just didn't believe that. I don't think that's it. For me, it ended up just being that we think we know so much, we think we got it down, and really it's the mystery, and something that's intelligent and extraordinary is knocking to get our attention. And what that does, I think, for me, because it's happened several times, each time you get that knock, it's like you look at your fear, and and then the body looks at the fear. The body goes totally into survival or that fear, right? And so each time you go through the knocks, each time you're acclimated, the body goes in less fear. And so when you're can hear those knocks and be cool with it, I see that's when everything opens up. So it's like an acclimation process. And I kind of see that with working with Sasquatch and with other, like ET beings or different beings, IA, all sorts of different things that to bring them into our sphere so that we can get the information and then manifest it or work with it on the earth plane, that it goes through a body of all these senses, and we're like ultra sensitive, a lot of us are. And so that information comes in and then we put it through all of our senses, and then what do we do with it? So let's take a look and see what those 3 knocks mean. We could, if you want to do that, or we can look at your experience at the retreat first, whichever you prefer.
Well, and let's go in order. We'll start with the retreat.
Okay. Again, it has to do with fear, because you're like a big kid and you really want this to happen, and you're thinking, I don't need this. I'm pretty cool. I got everything together in a lot of ways in my life. I'm happy. I'm centered. I'm in a good place. And when you go into nature, you really feel like you're finally at home, because we're living in these houses, is what you're showing me. You're showing me in your house that has, like boxed, you're boxed in, no matter how big your house is. But when you go out into nature, there's no more boxes. So you finally get to like really breathe, like really kind of, and you're showing me sitting in your chair, and you're not sitting up straight or in a certain way. You're like kicked back. You're kind of laid back, you're relaxed, you're open. And then that's when the information can come, because your crown chakra's wide open, your heart's open, and you're not in control. So when it came through, it's like, at first there's a little fear. It's kind of like what I was talking about earlier, when that cool air kind of goes from the left through to the right and out the other side. So it's kind of like you could kind of feel it kind of go through your body. It's like it doesn't, you can feel the energy, but you can't see it. And it's really subtle, but when it comes through, you go, woo, kind of like that. It's almost like you're showing me the image of like 1,000 butterflies together going from the left through your body and then out to the right. So I do see you're more of a Sasquatch girl in a way, with all these butterflies, especially one that she likes to wear in her hair. She likes to kind of put them in her hair. And it's an appreciation of beauty. You have a real appreciation for beauty and art that you haven't really fully expressed yet, but you're starting to look at what that would look like and play around. And the fun part is it'll just be fun. It won't be anything that you have to commercialize or make a product, sell it, and all that sort of thing. It's just something that you're playing with. So that's the first part. I don't know if you want to give feedback or we can go on or whatever.
So okay. So you said something about the female Sasquatch. I have been told that by somebody that I trust that I'm being looked over by a particular clan leader's daughter.
Yeah. She loves you. I mean, like a love that's beyond love. Or it's like your heart, you're showing me your heart, and then you're showing her heart, and you're in her heart. And when you're sitting placed in her heart, that's your whole family, because you're really a family man. Your family is like your lifeblood. It's like, it's everything to you. So when she holds you in her bigger heart, she holds your whole family in her heart as well.
Well,
A lot of colors, and like the monarch butterfly, the oranges, the browns, the yellows, the greens, those colors.
my mom used to make wooden butterflies and put them all over the house, and so I always see those. And as you were talking, I was getting that cold chill, forgive me, that cold chill feeling going through me, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. My mom has something to do with it too. I
Yeah.
always wondered if it because I had a couple of really good crystals that were given to me, and a couple of my mom's rocks. They were special rocks that she held in her hand. She beat ovarian cancer twice, and then she has rheumatoid arthritis really bad, or had for several decades, and her medication kept changing as a result of the chemotherapy treatments that she was getting, and that really just wore like a hole in her stomach. And died from sepsis, and they wouldn't do surgery on her because she just wouldn't have survived it. So she passed fairly quickly within 3 or 4 days of being told that. And I got all the rocks from her, and I haven't done much with them. And I took them out of a spot that I had. I took them out of a spot that I had, and took them out with me. And Mary, what she had done is she had cleaned them up. She said there was something, they were full. They were loaded right full. And so she basically emptied them for me. And we had a good cry together. She knew my mom. She took those rocks and she held them, and she knew my mom. And she told me all kinds of things about my mom, and it was amazing. And so I'm sure there's something else going on. I've always kind of felt like I've been guided, but I never know by what. And in my life, I've always had a weird, strange fascination with these people, and I don't refer to them as creatures or Sasquatch or Bigfoot anymore. I call them Sabe, just out of respect.
Right.
Just out of respect.
Right.
And yeah, so I there's just something going on. I'm trying to figure it out, and that retreat was incredible, and I was almost a different person while I was out there, and it felt really good. And it was just like I was able to just let go of all my repressive tendencies that I have, and just be kind of free. And yeah, I love it outside. I sit in this chair. I built this chair just so that I could do just what you said. I could sit there and stare at the Himalayan theater right in front of me. So yeah. Thank you, Barbara Jean. Thank you. That's really cool.
That was good, Joe. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Brian.
Did you want to stick around? And
yeah, I'll stick around. I'll stay on, but you can mute me if you need to, and I'll mute myself, and I'll just kind of putter around. But I want to listen. I'm probably going to have more questions, but I'll keep silent and let you guys do your thing.
Okay, I'm going to mute you, but I'll keep an eye on you. Put your hand up or something if you want a question. Okay.
Thank you for letting me read you. That was just that was wonderful to let because you're vulnerable when you get a reading. You're open up and you're vulnerable. So thanks for trusting.
Oh, I wanted to ask one question. Is the female? Is it someone that's related to the clan where we had the gathering, or is it somewhere further closer to Joe's area? Because we got Sasquatch all over the place.
It was kind of like what happens at Kelly's psychic retreat. Is that
what can I do for you now? What can I help you?
Having a reunion, but the Sasquatch are having a reunion as well, right? So they come from, the portal, who knows what planet or what dimension or wherever they're coming from, somewhere on the earth too. And so when they come in, I see his has been with his family. So it's been generational for a long time. And they kind of go where he goes. So I have never seen this before, but they're not planted on they have the place where they go, but they just kind of follow him around. So when I go through that to find it, it's there's no beginning and no end there with that. And that comes from that love part, so that he has connection with. So it's like there's no location and every location at the same time. That's for you, Michael. You can talk about that, because I don't know. That's just what I'm seeing, that part. So did that even answer the question? I'm not sure. It's like while he was there, he was more open. And because you've been working for this for so long, Brian, you and Sue now, and your connection, it just by the two of you being there in unison, and then having the people gather with an intention, right? It just makes it really strong, so that the Sasquatch can really be there and really work with the people physically, spiritually, and beyond anything that we actually know.
That's why I host them, because they actually host them. I just
Right.
facilitate it for them, whatever. But they do something specifically for everybody that comes there, and I'm sure that Joe will. He's already confirmed it before, that what happened with him was just life changing. So it really is a special gathering, and I'm really honored to be able to do it. Once or twice.
I
a year.
want to go to one. We've been trying for a couple of years, right?
The borders will open. So hey, we got Sam here.
Okay.
Let's hear what Sam has to say.
Hi, Sam.
Hi. How are you?
Nice to see you again, Sam. He's an old alumni. He's almost we got like Port Cunningham, Frank Oliver Beans, and we got Beef Wellington, who's kind of like our mascot, kind of like our pet actually. And then Sam's kind of like the next most popular guy, or most common guy, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm cockeyed Sam.
Cockeyed Sam.
Cockeyed Sam, remember that? You look good, Brian, by the way. I mean, pork.
Oh,
you look
thank
good,
you.
man. Beard's coming in nice.
Yeah.
Like it.
Not bad, eh?
All right, so do what?
That's what's different. Your beard. I thought it was your haircut, but it's your beard.
Well, the hair too.
Oh, it's both.
I'm running from the law, so I have to keep changing my appearance. I'm just outside of the top 10 most wanted list, which is good. When you're number 11 and 12, they don't look for you as hard, but they're still looking.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sam.
You're trouble.
Oh yeah.
So what am I doing? Am I getting a reading?
Yeah. Do whatever
I
you
was
want.
just part of the live. I was just being part of the live studio audience.
No. Ask for a reading or whatever you want, my friend.
Okay. What do you think? I do have one thing that happened. So this was when was this? This was 2 or 3 years ago. I was in my bedroom with my wife, and it was probably getting close to night or to dusk, and I was laying in the bed and we were talking, and I just like instantly fell asleep. But I didn't fall. It wasn't like going to sleep like normal. I just was like in mid conversation, just like left my body, and I went into my garage, and I was standing in my garage, and I was looking at two blue men that were probably 3 or 4 foot tall, and they were standing there, and they were pointing at my box freezer, and they were pointing at it, but they weren't talking verbally. They were like pointing at it, and they were like telepathically communicating, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I was standing there watching them, but they didn't see me. They didn't know I was there. So I don't know if I was viewing them through the eyes of another, or if I had just, dropped down. And then I shot back up to my body and woke up.
That's awesome. So the out of body experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just instantaneous. I was there, and then I was back.
It's tripped out, isn't it? That you're not, your consciousness, you, that essence of you can go without the body somewhere. And I know when it happened to me the first time, it's like, whoa, there's my body, but I'm here. And that's, be. It's like an out of body, and you're watching them. And what's funny when you do an out of body like that, your energy is like, it's almost like you're more present there, right? It's like a different way of beingness, but it's fully present and fully present because we here on the third plane with time, our time is different. You know, we have this, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And when you're in an out of body experience, you're just present. There's no linear time. And so you're fully present there. And so it's kind of like an acclimation, like we're talking about. You don't look like you got afraid. You just were like totally watching them have a conversation, and them being blue was no big deal. And so it looks like you probably have had these, I don't say probably have, but I'm just seeing the energy with it, is that this isn't really new to you, that you've seen them before, you know, because it isn't like, holy crap, there's two blue guys and you're losing your crap, you know. It's like, okay, I got this. And it's like watching television, like from a intelligent observer point of view, right? So why were you looking at it? Mainly because you could, you know, you can. You're at a stage of development that you're able to have that within your reality as well. So, and working with beings from other than a physical body. So you can do that already. So that puts you ahead of a lot of people to where you can explore this and see where it takes you. And with them, they could be part of your family as well, your star family, you know, that they felt as comfortable as your Sasquatch family. You know, we can have all kinds of different kinds of families, you know, as well. And so, and I see you're like that. You're very multidimensional. And so you never wanted to fit into this third dimension in a way because it was too, like what we were talking about with Joe, it's too close. It's too oppressive. It's too like, blech. Why would you want to be here? So part of your being here is just by you being here opens all those things up.
Yeah, we have a lot of interesting things happen in our house. So I know that they've been here. I just don't know those two personally.
Oh,
I haven't met them.
You can now that see we forget that now that they brought you into their sphere, it's like an invitation, right? So now you, like before you go to bed, if that's a good time for you to have your out of body experience, say, you know, I really want to talk with these guys, and you can go back in your own mind like we just did and talk with them. Say, hey, why are you pointing at that? What am I doing here? I want to play. What's up? I'm ready for the next step. So let's talk. And we forget that we can connect with them and we can exchange with them, and they really want that. And we're used to like viewing a television where you're just, you know, a spectator, right? But when you're working with these guys, it's an invitation to let's take it to some next levels of communication. And you have seniority because you do have a body, and it is the third dimension. That's where most of your energy is. So you're like king while you're here, you know?
Yeah, that freezer actually died a couple weeks later.
Oh, it did? Oh, shoot. Well, you have to buy another, a new advanced one, right?
I did. There was it's funny because we used to get deliveries of meat back then, and we had just gotten a delivery of meat. And then the freezer died, and I got this feeling that they wanted me to stop eating so much meat.
I get that
and
too.
They kind of did that because we had like 50 pounds of meat delivered.
Yeah.
And it was all ruined.
Yeah, I get that too. That they would like for you to do vegetarian. For you, from where you come from, I'm just getting that you really don't need meat at all. Some people do, but I'm just seeing with you, you really don't. You've kind of known that, but you really like meat, and it really makes you happy when you eat.
Yeah.
Like it's your connection with the Sasquatch for some reason. Like, oh, I'm gonna eat this meat because I'm powerful. I'm gonna, this is really good and it tastes really good, and so you kind of vacillate. There's no in between for you. It's like I'm gonna be a meat eater. Or I'm gonna be a vegetarian. No in between. So. Yeah, I see you probably will go to vegetarian. I really see that in your future. I have a good friend of mine who's been a vegetarian for 50 years or 30 years. I don't know, a long time. And she's a vegetarian, strict vegetarian the whole time, except for when she sees ribs. And she has to eat ribs because
Right.
she loses,
Right.
she loses it, man. She's just like, I love them. And if they show up in my space, they're gone. And then the rest of the time she's a vegetarian. So it doesn't have to be either or so much. It can be, like today I feel like a vegetarian, tomorrow I might not. So it doesn't have to be either or, black and white. A lot of time on this third dimension, we're conditioned it's either black or white, and really we don't have to play that game at all. So
Yeah. I was a vegetarian, very strict vegetarian for 9 years, and then I kind of got off it. And then I got back on it for a few years, and then I get back. Like I definitely teeter back and forth, but I really like cooking, so that's where the meat thing comes in, because I really like cooking meat different ways. And I think during that period I was going through a lot of it, and I think that was like the feeling I got from that was you should stop, because after that happened I stopped the delivery.
Oh,
So
cool.
like, yeah.
Well, and there's so many cool alternatives now. I was a vegetarian for 13 years, and that's before you go into like, I'm in LA though, but you go into like a big, like Whole Foods or something, and there's so much there that, wow, it's pretty amazing what you can create.
Yeah.
And
even fast food here, because I'm in Oregon, and the fast food restaurants here all have like vegetarian options. Yeah.
Right. But sometimes you just want a burger. What can you say?
I know. Yeah.
So I like my friend's idea that she just, and then every once in a while she'll. When I saw her eat those ribs too, I was blown away, because you're not used to seeing them do that either.
Yeah.
So it was pretty fun. So have fun with it, and you'll know, and it doesn't have to be either or. But I see you exploring, when you said you're a chef, exploring all the different ways of having a meatless meal too, which is interesting.
Yeah. My kids don't like it though, so that's why I have to they're not very experimental with like the vegetarian stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're very meat and potatoes, literally. So like I have to compensate for them. But yeah, if it was just me and my wife, we'd probably be full vegetarian.
Yeah, I see that for sure.
Well, thank you.
Kids are great.
Yeah.
Smart kids. Is it a boy and a girl?
No, 2 boys.
2 boys. It's a boy and a girl. Huh. Yeah, they are like on it. So smart. So really smart that, they could almost be in college.
I'm not going to tell them that.
Don't tell them that at all.
No.
Like real they're problem solvers. They know how to, like engineers, almost like engineers.
Definitely my young one, yeah.
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 Yeah, it's amazing. And the other one is more creative, but still in a problem solving way.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not twins, but they're very close.
Very close. Yeah.
Very, 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 very close pair. So it's like they gang up on you don't have a chance.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, you're a good dad. You're a really good dad. So you really are looking forward to Father's Day, because it's one of your joys. Probably one of your ultimate joys is being a father, and you learn so much through your children, and that's your heart is so open with them that you really get to have unconditional love, not only with your wife but with your boys. So it's really really a beautiful song with them, and with the Sasquatch right there too. So yeah. So are you in the woods or near
Yeah,
the woods?
well, no, not really. We're in a neighborhood, but we have a lot of trees in our neighborhood, so kind of.
Mhm.
But our old house, we were in the woods,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we had to move out here, and now we're kind of we're in the city. We're in Bend, Oregon, so we're kind of in the city, but it's not really a city here, so it's kind of hard. It's like a hybrid.
yeah. But you hike though, right? You like to.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where the fun is.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's where you get to talk and communicate, and when you're hiking, um, this is what I'm getting. When you're hiking, take a moment because you're so focused on getting where you're going that just take a moment and just stop and just chill.
Yeah, we've actually stopped making destinations because of that.
Good.
Because if I go hiking and there's a place I want to get to, that's definitely like, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, now I
it's,
just force myself to sit and yeah.
yes, yeah.
Hmm.
So that's where it all happens. It's right there.
Hmm.
It's almost like if you bring a small little book with you,
Hmm.
not a phone, but a little book. Really, you're a poet underneath all that, and a songwriter. I don't know if you play music, guitar, or something like that,
Used
but
to.
you do.
I used to. I
Well,
haven't in a while.
you pick it up because
Yeah.
I see that you're really a bard.
Mhm.
You've
Okay.
had many lifetimes as a singer, performer, storyteller. Um, and the guitar is a way that the attention's on the guitar and not on you. So it works.
Okay.
Okay.
It'll
Oh,
give
and
me
if
an excuse to buy a new guitar.
you do, and get a
Yeah.
good one, don't settle.
No, that's why I haven't gotten one because I don't want to get a cheap one, but I'm real. I also gotta justify like spending the money on a good one too. So
Right, but it's an investment in yourself
yeah.
and investment in your future, and you're gonna give. I just see you like when you go to Brian sings that you'll sing and the people will sing and with you. Not and you're going, oh hell no, I'm not doing that. But when that
Brian
happens,
can sing.
you have to let me know. Okay, say, oh hell, she said that, and
Brian can sing. I'll play guitar. Brian can sing.
but
Brian can sing. He's got the pipes. I'll just play the guitar.
but you have a voice too.
We'll do harmonies.
You do harmonies.
Oh,
We'll,
we
we'll
could do a
work it out.
duet.
It's it's about you owning your voice, and um that's your next, like the next 3 to 5 years is learning, that you have a voice, a real voice, and a genuine opinion that can be expressed because a bard picks up, if it's happening to me, then it's happening to a lot of people and they can relate. So so people aren't isolated and alone, the music plays these different stories and songs that they can relate to, and it opens their hearts and a lot of healing gets done. So, and you do it for yourself.
Yeah, and I gotta open this.
You gotta
This has
open that.
always been like a blockage of mine. Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
we can work on that. We can work on that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. And so by just practice it, when I first started my show, I have my show. I think it's my seventh year every Friday. When I first started my show, I was scared to death and didn't know how I could talk for 2 hours, right? And and I had to try and get other people on the show because I didn't have a voice. I didn't want any attention on me. I didn't want to talk. I didn't like And so in the 7 years, I found my voice, and now no one can shut me up. No, no, but it's a work in progress with that. So you just keep showing up and
Yeah.
showing up. Yeah.
I started doing a show too.
Oh, you did.
So
Okay, well, when is your
Mhm.
show?
it's like every other Thursday, or the first and third Thursday of every month. So
Okay.
I do that with Arla Williams, and it's definitely been like it's helped a lot with talking, because I'm not a big talker. So yeah,
Right.
I'm becoming more comfortable with it.
Right. That you actually have an opinion and they're not going to kill you for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Or that like everybody's opinion matters in a way, so it's not like some people need to hear it. Not everybody, but there's
Right.
some people that need to hear you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do we get to your show?
We've got a Facebook page that we do the live shows on.
Okay. How do I get there?
I can send you a link. It's called Guiding Abundance.
Okay. Yeah. I'd love that.
Yeah. But yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, because I've always been very quiet and reserved, and so this is learning how to speak my truth, I guess.
Right. Right. And have fun with it, and as you do it, you build confidence.
Yeah.
That's good. Yay.
Yeah.
It looks good.
All right, Sam, did you have anything more?
No, I'm good.
You good
I'll
for
just
now?
sit back in the audience and listen. Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Sure.
I'd like to educate the whole world on woo, and I have some my own point of view, but I'd like you to try to explain a little bit about woo and what is woo and what is not woo. And in my opinion, there's not very much that's not woo. So could you talk about woo, the psychic, paranormal, out of ordinary, supernatural? Could you talk about that topic a little bit and how, just how prevalent it is?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like what the Sasquatch talk about, is that it's our connection. It's a oneness in that. There's no separation with that. And so it's usually, for me, I can just tell you my experience with it, is that it's beyond words. So it's very fast. It's sometimes in picture, sometimes in feeling, but it goes through and uses whatever senses that's inside this avatar in order to express. And so it's kind of like fine art. There's a simplicity to it as well. And it's present time, and it's creative, and it's alive, and it's like a love. I think with love would be a part of that, or is that, for lack of a better word than love, and love's one of my favorite words. And it's individual for each person in that moment. Like 5 people could have an experience, and each one of them is unique, and each one of them are right. So it's diversity. This energy is diverse. So so vibration, sound, color, smell, through those senses, because that's what we pick up. If we took off the body and just had our consciousness, would the woo and us be not a us and them, but just us? I would say yes. More. I don't know why, but where there's more of a merging, where there, that all is, all was, all will be, is all right there in that soup. You're back in that cosmic soup of creation. Yeah, it would be that love part, that sparkle part, an incredible fire. I'm a fire element from that. And it's you can't contain it, has no container. You can't buy it, can't sell it. A communication, probably a communication probably like a communicator, a link, a connection. Yeah, yeah. Um, it's real. It's like really real. Uh, um, does it have humor? Does it have wit? I would say so. Does it have fun? Have joy? Um, light? Dark? We were talking about that dichotomies. And it has um, like this total beautiful openness to it. That's probably it that I'm getting. And to take it from one place to put it to another, it doesn't have to exist to do that. It just is. Okay, I guess that's it.
Well, what I was getting at was that most people who are the hardcore researchers and it's only material, flesh and blood reality, I think that they don't actually know what uh, the woo is and psychic phenomena is. You know what I mean? If they have hair standing up on their arm and there's nothing around for that to happen, they don't call that woo. You know what I mean? Or they have the creepy feeling that they should go away from the area. They don't call that woo. But I mean, there's so much. I'm almost never have heard of anybody who talks about Sasquatch that didn't have some kind of a woo thing happen with them. You know what I mean? Just like what was it that made them get up that morning and go out to the woods? That's woo.
Yeah, yeah. It's probably an experience, right? In a way, the woo is an experience, but can you describe it? Okay, so you're saying if you can't, so intangible doesn't exist?
You know, love, like you said, love. I mean, people love their family and they love God and they love all these things, but love is about the most woo thing that there is. Because if you know, I say I love I, I I love Barbara Jean Lindsey, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can say that whether I'm talking to you or whether you're off in the other, you know, you're not here. You know what I mean? Or even if you were dead, I could still say that. I could still feel that. So it's like, you know, that's pretty much woo. You know?
Well, there's no time or space for woo.
Yeah, no conditions.
No conditions. And like a third dimension, I really feel that the third dimension thing, that if you can't see it and touch it and smell it, that's about control.
Barbara G.
Or like a fear of not being in control. I can't touch that. You know, I'm being touched by something I can't see. That's not real.
You can't control it. That's where we're
Well,
going.
can I say something about that? I don't think the woo is intangible. I think being something that's tangible is something that can be registered. Period. However, if and you are a perfect example of that because you everything like all this energy is tangible to you because you can access it. If you can access it, and if the woo comes, like if you experience something like Frank was saying with the hair on your arms, that's tangible. That literally is tangible right there. That's something that you can experience, and people are not, like Frank said, they're not cluing in on the subtleties of the energy, right? You call it woo, call it what you like, but it's just energy. It's all pervading. How could it not be involved in every aspect of your life?
And
right?
and when you're saying that, I'm thinking we're coming from a third dimension perspective. Does woo exist without a third dimension perspective, right? And so if you, let's say, take your body off and you're just existing in your consciousness, woo can have an interaction with that. You don't need a body to have that. That makes sense.
Yep, I'm sorry I unmuted because I don't want to interrupt you, but that's perfect. Yeah, it's because it's so all pervasive. It doesn't have anything really to do with your body. It doesn't. It just has everything to do with the more important aspects of life.
And because there's not just us humans, we have Arcturians, Pleiadians, Syrians, thousands that we can't even give them a name. And
can you Apexians? Have you heard of them?
who is it?
Apexians?
Oh, I haven't, but I'd like to.
How do you spell that, Joe?
Well, Apex.
Oh,
and then
Apex.
IAN. Okay. Yeah, Apexians. Yeah.
You know about them
because there's a story. There's a story out there that over 25,000 years ago or so, or maybe it was longer than that. I think maybe I have the number wrong, but that the Apexians actually had humanity in slavery, and we were supposedly rescued by the Anunnaki. So maybe not created by the Anunnaki, right?
Oh, no, that's interesting.
I don't know. It's just an interesting story. I still am looking into it, but I just thought I'd ask if you heard of the Apexians because you mentioned a lot of the others.
And they came and rescued us during the Anunnaki.
The Anunnaki apparently came and took over and just dethroned them.
And took over from them?
Yeah, that's the story, is that the Apexians were here first. And they were, they had us as slaves. I don't know the full story yet on that. I'm still, like I said, looking into it, but I'm all black. Here we go. And
yes.
But you mentioned a few other of those races.
Right. Well, if you listen to my show yesterday, Leon Beebe talks exactly about the subject, and what he's saying, and according to like Sasha Lesson, Michael Lee Hill, that the Anunnaki, that we have that history of us written in Sumerian tablets. I've heard of actually our creators, right? That they created us. But I'm down for looking at what the Apexians are. I haven't heard that. So I'd like to find out about that for sure.
I'd like to ask you a question.
I'm still looking.
I'd like to ask you a question about the future of Mr. Frank Oliver Beans, if I may. He's been in Facebook jail many times. Is he a career criminal, or can he be reformed?
No, definitely.
What's his future? What's his future hold?
It's more of the same. You can
more of
count
the same.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm in a rut.
See, you're dragging my name down. I'm guilty by association with you. Wait a minute, I don't have a name, so I guess we're good to go.
We don't have an association.
What about the Associations? Remember that band? What was their song again? Windy or something?
Oh yeah, what was that? It was like a love song.
Windy. Da, 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 da. Is that it? No, that's Downtown. It was something windy though.
Windy. No, that's the Beach Boys.
Windy. Windy or windy?
Maybe it's windy. Something to do with love.
I know I got a big draft going in between my. It's pretty windy. No, I think it's windy or something. I'm gonna have to look that up. I have to look that up before the show ends.
Association, yeah. What's that song?
The Associations. But anyway, I had a question that actually is involving myself as well. But it was brought to me a few days ago by this lady. Reached out to me, a friend of Susan's and mine. Her name is Marcia K. Moore. She's a really talented artist.
Ooh.
Like a really extremely talented artist. Mm-hmm. And she was telling Sue about this. Remember the outline figure that I told you that I saw at the foot of my bed? It was like completely transparent, but it just had like glowing lights all around it, like fluorescent lights. Almost looked like a crime scene chalk line.
Yeah.
There was nothing. It might have been all black in the middle or nothing, but there was no definition. It was just the outline, and it was standing at the foot of my bed. And then I looked to my left, and it was on his hands and knees beside me looking. So Marcia got a hold of me the other day because Susan and her went on a hike recently, and they had a great time. Had all kinds of interaction and wonderful stuff happen. because, power in numbers and whatever, right? Kind of thing. That's my experience, with, and she was telling Sue about this experience of a light bulb kind of fluorescent person too that was lit up. And when Sue told her that I had the same experience, she was blown away because she said she had never ever experienced anything like that, and she was kind of interested. Who were they? What are they? And she made a very astute observation, which I'll let you in on because it might help you open it up on bigger scale, whatever. But she said that when she saw her figure, and I don't recall this, she said that there were a couple lights out, like almost like like a Christmas tree string on one of the hands, and she thought her impression was it was her light body, her higher self, and that those lights were out because it was something maybe she had to work on or something, or it was what she was getting. So that was her question, and I guess it applies to me too. So who are these people, and what's going on with that?
The first thing I see with the light body is that, like, it's the word came up, ultra dimensional. I don't know, that just came from somewhere. That we're ultra dimensional, and that's part of you, that self view, is like a portal to you, and that where the lights are disconnected, those two lights, is where you are connected. It's like a cord, almost like a cord, like they're showing me like an extension cord, but it's an extension cord of energy. And so your light body vibrates at a much higher rev. It's like, right? And it's a vibration and sound, and it's really ultra beautiful. And so that you actually have to, when you connect on this third dimension in your third dimensional self, that it actually has to slow down a little bit, right? Because we're dense, it's much more dense here to be here with these earth bodies on this third dimension. It's dense. And so it's like that light body, in order to it's like it's showing me like a web or a cord to, like, almost to your umbilical cord in a way. At first I thought it would go somewhere else, but it goes right kind of like to the umbilical cord, and it's where you can charge up and kind of be charged by your essence that is unlimited, right? That is your connection, direct connection with the divine. And so you're getting charged or recharged with it. That's my hit on it.
And so it's part of our light body. It's our higher self, basically, then you're saying. And that's the case with me as well, myself?
Yeah. So what does that connect with? There's a Sasquatch connection because it's in a Sasquatch form, right? So is it like
well, the one I saw looked just like a regular person to me.
Okay. But was hers a Sasquatch?
I think hers was a regular person too. I believe. But she does have some kind of Sasquatch thing going on. So I'm not 100% sure, Barbara. But I thought it was a person.
Okay. What I get, and it's different from you guys, so it's what I see when you talk and tell that story, is they're both Sasquatch. So it's like a Sasquatch, an enlightened Sasquatch entity part of you. So when you said that, I didn't get a person at all. I got someone much larger than life, right? That's how the Sasquatch are. That's how they are with me. But it's like, it's like fully in command, fully in charge, fully connected, all codons on, sort of a thing. But I get Sasquatch lit up. Like you see those the wooden cutouts of the Sasquatch. That's what it kind of looks like. Kind of like that.
And so the purpose is to what? To reconnect us to our higher self, or what?
It's for healing. Because in order for our consciousness to come here, our beingness to come here, we have to turn a lot of stuff down in order to be here. Okay? And so as a being, that can be limiting. And so we need to be recharged. It's like you're getting a booster pack, right? It's charging you to remember who you are, to remember why you're really here, and not to buy into all that, that you think you are. It's just it's a connection so you don't lose it.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, well, then she was right then. Her feeling was right.
And what did she say? I forget. Did you tell me what?
She said that she felt that it was her light body or her higher self, a part of her higher self. But the only thing that she said was different than you is she thought that the missing links might have been something she had to work on. But you're saying it's where she was connected in.
Yeah, it's not. She's not missing anything, and that's kind of the work of this. The higher self is that you're not missing anything. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You're like totally perfect.
Okay.
And that's kind of like your light buddy's telling you, hey, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not a screw up. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're creative. It's kind of like you're like cheerleading yourself to victory. And
Awesome.
it's not attaining to get anywhere. You just are. So it has nothing to do with attaining anything. It's a connection that it's your birthright.
Okay. We have some other questions that I actually put on my Facebook page, so I'm going to do a screen share. And I actually did it good. I wrote the comments down, and I got the pictures of the people too. So can you just do a general reading on somebody just from a picture?
Oh, sure. I don't even need a picture.
Okay. Okay. Well, a picture helps, though, right?
Oh, sure.
So I'm just going to mute myself for a second, and Joe or Sam, do you want to chip in or say anything while I'm getting this together?
Sure.
Or Mr. Beans?
So when you blah blah blah. So Brian, yes.
Well, I don't think we can talk to Brian right now. No, I don't think he wants us to talk to him. But Barbara Jean, what did you? I don't think we got to the tapping on the window. I mean, you mentioned something about your own, but we didn't ever get to my tapping. I think because it took quite a bit of time to talk about the retreat. So, and I forgot all about the tapping.
Tapping thing is so cool because for me, it was a connection with my three sisters because they're not into this. I'm the weirdo sister, right? They're like totally straight.
Me too.
And so this is like, what the hell? What just happened? And you can't. So we were given an experience, and you can't run and hide from that because it happened. So my sisters were like, of course, then because I'm the weirdo and they're used to me with this kind of thing, then they both looked at me to give them the answer, and I don't have an answer for it. It's like, but it's a communication. It's like, hey, wake up. There's
Yeah.
You know?
Well, hey, look, if you can see this, let me just kind of show you where the area is, where my window is. I'm just going to turn the camera. That window right there.
Okay, cool.
There's no neighbors don't go in there. Nobody goes in that little area, right? It's just my bed is right under that window, right?
Yeah.
And there's all my neighbors have all these ladders because they're roofers and stuff. But yeah, so why would I get a tap on that window? So something came in looking for me, I guess, and tapped on my window, or maybe someone was trying to break into my house, get me to come outside and look.
No, it's very common, very common. They're just letting you know they're there.
Exactly. Kind of like, hey,
we're with you.
We're with you. That there's
It was the Sunday after our retreat, right after Sunday after.
Of course, makes sense. Hey, by the way, I bought a new truck.
What? Oh, that'll tow Mark's trailer.
Look at that.
I gotta say something.
Oh.
That's so
beautiful.
Cool. I like the color.
Oh yeah.
57 Chev.
But I've been hearing.
It's I don't know what it is. Hot Wheels.
57 Chev.
Yeah, something like that.
I've been hearing instead of the 3 knocks, now I'm hearing 3 chimes. That was my last one with them, but it's 3 in an order, and it's a different kind of order, right? It's very distinct. It's like boom, 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 very mathematical.
What do you see as the significance of 3? Because 3 is quite common with the knocks and stuff like that.
Maybe our 3rd dimension. I have no idea, but it feels good. I like it. I like the sound of it. It's like hello, let's have a celebration. It's like, celebrate. Because I always, for some reason,
Well, it feels 3 is a natural number. If you walk up to somebody's door and knock on the door, how many times do you knock? I knock 3 times. It's just funny. I just knock 3 times.
guys. Oh my
Feels
God,
to be happy.
so cute.
What's that?
Kelly and Christian.
I'm trying to. Damn it! I've got our top thing over the question now.
Oh, I just
Of
love
course,
that.
it doesn't. Of course, that would. Hang on a minute.
Oh my God, they're so cute. I'm going to see them in September. I'm so excited. It's going to go with me, my son and my grandson, and kind of going to be a family thing there. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, just hang on a second. I got to learn how to drag this box over so I can read the question. I didn't anticipate this. Oh boy.
Isn't there a song, Knock 3 Times on the Stunna If You Love Me, something like that?
I can
There we
read
go.
it.
There we go. There we go. Okay, so here we are. This is Kelly and Christian, her significant other.
Yeah.
So Kelly would like to ask this question, and it's for both of them.
Okay.
I'd like her insights on when, where, how a space or land might manifest for ongoing retreats, and maybe some direction in what I should focus on, or I guess that's what we should focus on, for our highest good and growth.
Okay. Well, the first thing that I get is that is to let go. And there's an old Kelly and an old Christian that wants to control an outcome. And that's kind of what we've been talking about today for some reason. And it's that more of that third dimension, right? And really what they're being asked to do is to let go and just be in that flow, in that tune, which they do really well together, and it'll just happen. And I know that sounds like you need to, chop wood, carry water, and A to B, C, D all in order, but that's not going to happen that way with them. And if they continue to do their work with their hearts in the right place and that they want to serve, that will happen for them. Because I do see a location, it is very close to where they are. It's almost like private land that they're just going to be gifted to do their work. And she has some ideas of what she wants and what Christian wants. It's kind of like when they do their gatherings, it'll be someone that they meet from one of those gatherings that really feel a pull to their work and have the means to go ahead and create that. But what's cool about it is I see the person who gives the land, doesn't give the land, it gives them the money to find the land. So it's the money comes first and then the land. But them doing their work, it's almost like it's a year out, maybe a year and a half, 2 years out in a way. But that they continue to stay on this trajectory, that's all coming. And Kelly's seen this. She's already had a vision of it. Christian has a vision of it. And I see it all happening. If they could just relax and trust a little more, it'll all happen much easier. If they start to force it and to try and will it or make it happen, they'll make some mistakes with it.
All right. Anything more for them?
Yeah, that they serve so many, and they're such amazing, beautiful, loving, kind, generous beings that in order that they give out so much, they're showing me like a wave, like a sonic wave, boom, 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 like a sonar wave, that they need the two of them to make sure that they take time to love each other, to be alone with each other. I know she has a son, so they need romantic dates. They need time in the woods alone to hold hands, to communicate with each other, their love for one another. And that doesn't mean business, that letting go of the Sasquatch retreat, letting go of the business, and just having that fun part that brought them together in the first place, so that they really are. So here's Kelly and here's Christian, that they're linked together. Because what happens when they have this beautiful gathering that they work on, and Kelly has other projects that it starts to, because of all the work, that they start to be divided. So they want to make sure that that they're always linked in together first and foremost. So it's almost like one of the ways they can do that is if they meditate together every day. I'm not sure if they do or if they do separately, but they might look at meditating together as a couple.
Okay.
But I think that.
So
I think that,
now we have, this is a really close friend of mine. Do you want to hear the story of this? I should tell you the story because.
and I love Kelly and Christian so much, and really, really, their work is so profound in the world. Okay, that's all. I'll let go.
Absolutely. I'll tell you the story behind this lady. And her name is Leanne Parker Hughes, and she is passed on. She was a very, very dear friend. She was like, soul family, and she had a lot of. She was going nightly. The Palladians were taking her out of her body, in her sleep and whatever. And I'm getting that energy. Like, she's here. She's with me.
I felt that.
She's with me right now.
I felt that.
Yes, she's. Oh my God. So. Her and I like talk like, we were like sisters and whatever. Like Susan was really good with it. She just knew that we were just like family, and she was like that with Sue too. Oh my God, I'm just like.
It's in the crown. It's all up in that crown chakra.
Oh, but so we loved each other, and we knew we were family or whatever. We talked about all kinds of spiritual stuff like all the time. Palladian, Sasquatch. She had Sasquatch connection, and. She had family and stuff and whatever, and she called them the monkeys, these little grandkids that were the love of her life. And she got kind of busy, right? And so she kind of wasn't talking to us so much, not because we weren't really close. It's just like, he was getting fatigued, tired, and just circumstances. We didn't talk quite as much as we thought we would, or that we would like to have, just for a period of a few months. So one day, Susan and I went to a concert. It was the Government Mule, and they were playing this song. And it was just such a powerful. It was just such a powerful song. It's hard to describe, but it was raining and it was like cloudy out, and the drummer, he went into the chorus of this really amazing song, and it just all of a sudden the whole sky lit up. The whole sky parted and the whole sky lit up, and the sun, a big beam of sunlight came shining down, and Susan and I both looked up, and we both knew something amazing had just happened. We both knew, what was that? What just happened? And we were looking at the band, and they were like playing in slow motion and everything. It was like supernatural, okay? It was like beyond words. And so when we got home, we looked at Facebook right away, and we saw one of our friends said, "Sorry about your friend." And she had passed away just during that concert. And we know, Susan and I know 100%, there's not a question on our mind that she was a music lover too. She loved music. We talked about that a lot. She came by and said goodbye to us. Just at that moment, I know that happened. And we looked on Facebook, and we hadn't heard from her for a while. And that day she left Sue about a 5 or 6 paragraph message about how much he loved us, and and she's sorry and whatever. And it was just like, and then she passed away that very day. So I just wanted to know if she had anything to say to us, or if she wanted to speak, because I feel her now.
I can see her there. And if you could say her name, I just want to tune into her.
Leanne Parker Hughes.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful person.
She shows me herself dressed in a blue, like a commander suit, like on a spaceship. And
yes, she talked about that. She talked about spaceships. Yes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. And she has like, and she's in really shape. She wants to let you know that she's like in really good shape and that she has a lot of vitality. So she has her vitality back and she's on track. And so she knows who she is and where she's going. Where when she feels like on the third plane here on the earth that that she didn't know, it didn't, a lot of it didn't make sense, and it caused some pain and suffering for her. And so she wants to let you know that she's on track and she's right where she's supposed to be and she's let go. So she's not trying to find anything. She's found what she was looking for, and that she's a part of something, she said, that will, I can't even say the words here, but that will blow your mind.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, that was the most dramatic farewell. I don't know how she did it, but it was magical. And very, very cool.
It's like she was, the picture she shows me is that she's on a star with the moonbeam. You know, like that, kind of like that picture or that movie where he's on a rocket ship and he's going yippee-ki-yay, you know, like out into.
Oh, that Slim Pickens or whatever. What was that? Dr. Strangelove?
I don't remember what movie that was on, but there's some movie like that. So that's the picture she's showing me. So this is like her smile. You knew her from her smile, and so it's like as she's trajectorying over you and Sue, it's like in a rainbow, but it's like this beautiful, sparkling, crisp white of all the stars, you know. So it's pretty cool. And so even her insignia has kind of like it looks like you took a bunch of small diamonds and put them on there. That's her emblem. It's like a galaxy emblem of all these diamonds.
Yeah, it's wild how I felt her come in.
Yeah, and if you need her, she's available. Not all the time because she's like on it, but she just wants to come in and she's showing me a clipboard, just as for you, that has everything checked off. All the boxes are checked. So she doesn't have anything else to do. She accomplished her mission. And so then she takes that clipboard and she just kind of moves her hand and it disappears. And now she has like some other kind of a pad, like a clear computer pad in front of her that she can go bloop, 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 and she gets all of her information. And she's showing me these screen upon screen upon screen of galaxies. And she's having a lot of fun with it. And so does she have a body? She does.
Yeah.
And
Is that it for her? Is that it for her? Or?
She's more human. She still looks human though. Although I see her more with more pointed ears and kind of more of a blue. She looks kind of blue, so maybe more like Arcturian in a way.
Interesting.
Her Arcturian self.
We ready to move on, or do you? I don't want to sell it short either. Or cut it short.
The last thing is that she's a team, and what she wants to tell you is to remember that you're gathering your team on the ground. And if you don't know the whole picture, you're not supposed to, because it keeps everybody safe and you're given the information at the time that you need it.
That makes sense. Okay.
Commander Cunningham.
Okay, I got another one. This is a character called Pat McRae. And he says, "Who is Miozama to me? Mesomar. Who is Miozama to me?"
Well, Miozuma is someone that he found, from what I'm getting, someone when he was young. So it's from someone he's known since he was a small boy. And it was his purpose was to lighten him up, that he takes things seriously, and that he would have things missing around the house. He still has things missing, and that's from this being playing with him, um, to remind him that he doesn't know everything and he doesn't need to know everything. And so his job with him is to protect him from, not from himself. He doesn't need protection from himself, but protection in the way that he gently kind of guides him in a direction. So when he's a little bit off, he can lose things, and like keys, a cup, a book, uh, and really weird is like a rabbit's foot. I don't know what that is. So he's showing me this rabbit's foot. So for luck. So he's just kind of his luck. And he seems to be this person, I forget who you said his name was, but he seems to have luck in his life, and he's earned that from previous lifetimes. Um, yeah, so I have a conversation with this guide, and it's more like a family being more than a guide. He's been with him like forever in so many ways, and they'll continue to be together in the future. And he tends to he'll go out and check out the rest of the family, but he always comes back to him because that's his favorite. And the way he can connect with this spirit too is through reading. Whenever he's a good reader, avid reader. So this being likes to be read to and likes to read the books with him. And he will actually suggest, or if a book falls out of a shelf or something, it's just being wants to read it. So it's interesting. So their play is through books. I don't see a SASQUATCH per se. Not feeling that per se. This is more like almost like a leprechaun kind of a being. Like the Fae folk, more like that. And they have a connection with Sasquatch. So.
What's going on with the screen share? It went crazy.
Sorry, I've got people asking me to put their pictures and everything on. Sorry about that. I guess everything I'm doing is showing up on the screen share.
Yeah, what you do is you get their picture and then screen share. That's the way to do it.
All right, well.
But this works good too. It was working.
Well, I got it now anyway. Okay, so anything more for...
Nope.
Pat McRae.
That was it.
Pat McRae is in the audience.
Oh, what does he say? Let's hear what he says, because I never get to get feedback a lot of the time. So.
Well, I don't know if he's here now, but he was here just a minute ago. Let's just see what this says. The Anunnaki are supposed to be the end from planet Sarpo. I don't know what he was talking about. That was way back when we were talking about the Anunnaki.
Okay.
I have a question for you. Is that guy Mike Lee Hill? Does he know anything about Sasquatch?
I don't know. That's a good question to ask him.
Because I mean, he's up there, kind of in that Sasquatch neighborhood with the mound builders and Anunnaki and all. So he knows a lot of stuff, I'm sure.
I would think there would be something there for sure.
Yeah,
I haven't heard him talk about it. Have him on your show and have him talk about it.
I was thinking about having him on because he knows a lot about the Anunnaki, and
yeah, he does. He would be.
And the people who are, the Bigfoot people, a lot of them really believe that the Sasquatch was Nephilim, and I don't think that they are Nephilim. And he would be, being an expert on the Anunnaki, might be able.
He would be good, and so would like Dr. Sasha Lesson and Janet Lesson.
Oh yeah, they would know.
Oh, about Anunnaki for sure.
Okay.
Do you remember when Mary was? I did that video with Mary. She was saying that RE was telling her that they were from the time of the giants. That's what he
Like,
told her. And he said that I was from the time of the Giants too, so some kind of connection with him or whatever. And then of course she told him to shut up because he was she was telling me too much. But anyway, so let's go on to the next picture.
okay.
This is Carl's soup, and he just wanted you to look at his picture and tell him something.
Oh, well, you know what's funny? It's like the last couple of days I've seen a big truck drive in the neighborhood, and I don't drive in my car that much, but I'm in my car, and there's a truck with this sign on it. So I think that's interesting. And it says, "Why limit yourself to one when you can have five?" And so it's an advertising, I guess. But with him, he likes to have fun, and it's important to celebrate life. Um, that he can be gentle and soft, and it's his nature. So where he can be introverted is a beautiful word. And he's learning how to be gentle with himself and loving himself and being kind to himself. So he's in a real, or I could say you, are in a real renaissance of self-appreciation and self-love. And from this, sparks your creative energy. So that's fun. Um, and you like fire. Ooh, yeah, fire's your element. So anything with fire's good. Like it's important for you to like go out and have the fires, like a fireside at night when you talk to the stars, and that's your element. It's the fire is the connector to spirit for you, and that comes from past lives too. Uh, and the words comes up like a spirit walker or a spirit dancer, a spirit singer, and it all has to do with fire. So, so yeah, so go get some fire and get fired up. It's kind of like that.
Any Sasquatch stuff for him? He's connected in with Sasquatch too.
Yeah, he definitely. I forget where. That's where we need to go with these.
Oh no, we don't have to. We don't have to go with it. But I'm just wondering. He'd probably like to hear that. Just something that he would like to hear.
That has to do with the fire and being out in the stars and being in nature. That's where he, again, like it was like Joe, where they have to have that no walls, no doors, they have to be out in that. They're a big enough being that they need that much expansion to feel alive, to feel vital, to feel open, and to feel free. Freedom's, if it's freedom fighters, it's about being free, and no one's gonna fence me in, kind of like that. So that's what the Sasquatch works with this gentleman with is the his creative energy, really, where if he just stays in the house all the time, he has no energy. If he walks into the forest, he's just like on. It's like turning on a light. It's like sudden illumination, sudden vitality, because the woods is a natural fifth dimension, right? And so in order for him to be well and to function in the third dimension, he has to go to the woods to be in that fifth dimension to get all kind of juiced up so he can bring his thoughts and ideas that into the regular world.
Okay.
And beer's his element, man. He can have a beer. Beer's good.
Can we move on, or do you have more for Carl?
I'm thinking he wants me to say something about his dad,
Sure.
and so
I don't want to rush you through any of them. So take your time. No.
It's with your dad is that when you have a beer now, it's like you can have a beer for him. So that it's like the picture, here's a beer for himself and there's a beer for his dad. And so that's their connection, is when he takes that time to just relax, slow down, and have a beer. And then that's when he can have that love from his dad just kind of permeate every cell of his body. So it's good.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Probably good.
This is my friend Chris Denhart. It's not a very good picture of him, but Chris Denhart. He generally doesn't look that bad. I was in rush, but what can you tell me about him? Excuse me.
He's sensitive. Chris, you're really, really ultra sensitive, and you put out there that you're not, and you put up your defenses. But underneath all that, you're like a gentle bear. You're like, and that's what the Sasquatch are working with you with, is letting down those masks of what you have to be in the world to survive. And you've been fighting hard for a long time in that part where you have to fight to get what you want, and you never wanted to play that game, and you refused to play that game, and you got hurt by that. But now that you stayed with it, that's let go, and you don't have to fight anymore to be here. You can simply be. And the Sasquatch have been working with you with that. And so now the next step for you is in your power. And you're going to step in your power in a way like you've never stepped in it before. And you know it's always been there, but there's a part of you that was afraid that maybe it wasn't right that you could have that sense of power that you have. But because of your life traumas, that you're know what it's like, and so you've been humbled enough and on your knees enough in a way that you earned this power, and now you get to work with it in the world. And Sasquatch are there to kind of remind you of that in a big way, that they're so real that, and with you, you kind of become them. And so you feel yourself as a Sasquatch, and you're letting yourself explore that you actually are a Sasquatch. And it's kind of tripping you out a little bit, but don't be afraid. You can talk to Brian about it, or Michael, or other people that about that, because a lot of people have experienced that. So it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Brian, what are you doing? Oh, look, there's Coastal Chick. And you're muted. Oh, I'm muted too.
Okay, I'm just going to stay on here. I'm not going to be looking at stuff anymore because if there's any questions, you're going to have to look them up, Beans. Or unless I stop the screen share. Okay, so this is well, we call her Coastal Chick, but do you know her real name, Frank?
That's how she calls herself on Facebook.
Okay, but
So that's a moniker.
now I'm trying to think of. I'm not going to get out of this screen, so I'm trying to think of what her question was again. She was asking. She's making a big move, selling her house, and she wants to know what the future is.
Oh yeah, she's selling her house.
She wants to know where, maybe where she's going to end up, what the future is, if it's going to be good, that kind of thing. And I'm going to go and look at this question again specifically while you look at that.
Okay. Her name's Monica? For sure?
No, Coastal We don't know her name. She's incognito. It's Coastal Chick.
Okay, that's good to know. Selling your house. It's a big move. And you don't even know why you're doing it. You just know it's right. And so you're following that. You're following your intuition, and you're not following it in a crazy way, but people around you might think it's crazy, but you know who you are, and you can be strong in that, and that you're being guided to sell so that you have more freedom to explore the world and make new friends, and kind of like maybe almost like a bohemian lifestyle for a while, like where you rent an RV, or live in your car and go to B&Bs, but and in that you'll meet up with certain people and write connections to take your next step. And I see you owning a house again, because it's important for you. But for right now, you don't want to be tied down, and you want to have your freedom and to explore whatever you want to explore for it. You're like giving yourself a year to do this, and then afterwards, then you'll have all your information to take your next steps. It's almost like you're looking at either developing a community or working with a community as well. And with Sasquatch, it's your love for nature and children are a real key for you. The innocence of children and their laughter, and you would make a great teacher for children. And but it's right now you don't want any responsibility, and so that also is in the future. They're working with children. You might have worked with children already. So you're just going to go out and have some fun for a while because you've taken life too friggin' seriously. So you get to allow yourself to do this. And so don't listen to all your friends who are telling you you're crazy, because you're not, okay? So follow your intuition, and you're showing me all these rainbows and unicorns and cats. And you'll always end up on all 4 feet. So, and the Sasquatch are helping you with this by, like you're showing where they hold you, they just hold you, and that you're loved unconditionally, and you're protected unconditionally, and you can always count on that. So there's a part of you that's alone and isolated, but by selling your house and doing your traveling, you're going to discover so much about yourself that you're never alone or isolated ever again. So that's good. So you actually are going to raise your vibration and take more responsibility for what it is that you want to create in the world and with who you want to create it with. So you definitely are a co-creator and a connector.
Oh, she also says subsequent bus hunt.
Oh yeah, so she's looking for a bus then too.
Partridge Family, I guess.
Okay. Like I just saw RV, so maybe that's the same thing, I don't know. Or revamp a bus, I'm not sure. But it's definitely on the road. She's definitely on the road. So that's good.
Okay. Can we move on, or?
Yeah. Is everyone having fun?
I think so. Or is that the last one? That might be the last picture, actually.
Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. No. We've got this lady, and I got to remember her name now.
I know her.
What?
I know her.
Oh, you know her?
I don't know her, but I know her. You know, like when you meet people like that.
Do you want her name, or do you need it?
I don't need it, but it'd be, I guess I can have it, sure.
Well, but then I got to go and do all that, make everything look weird and whatever. Like, and
I don't need your name. I can
Alina
see.
Papa, maybe, I think. Is it Papa? Just hang on a second. Okay. You know what? It's not worth it. Can you do it without the name? It's just.
Yeah, I can do it. Sure. Okay, a beautiful lady in the yellow gray plaid shirt. I'm assuming your question is about Sasquatch, right? Do you know what the question is at all?
She just said, "Can you tell me anything about myself?"
Okay. That you're a dreamer, and our world needs dreamers. The kind of the theme for today is you don't fit in a box, where you've been oppressed to be put in a box and you don't belong in a box ever. And you're actually pretty extraordinary. If anything, a problem would be that you can do so many things well that to focus on what you really want to do. So far, you haven't really found that. Whatever you have been doing career-wise has been expected because you're really good at it, but you get bored really easy. So it needs to be a career that has a lot of change. And if it's a change in location would be great. You're just a natural lover of humanity and of people. But it's very important that you have that alone time. And you haven't been getting enough of that. So you might have some small children, something like that. But you really need that alone time. And that going out into the woods is your perfect medicine for whatever it is that ails you. So you're a natural born leader. And so that you don't want to be, you're kind of like a reluctant leader. So, and you kind of get pissed off because you don't want to be responsible and you don't want to be a leader. So that makes the perfect leader. And that's not fair, is it? It's just not fair. So no matter where you go, there you are, right? And so you, my friend, are a natural leader. And you have a beautiful voice. And if you don't have a radio show, you would have you have a really good voice and a good heart. And you're highly intelligent. So you would make a great show host.
Excellent.
Okay.
And now the purple dusk of twilight time steals across the meadows of my heart. High up in the sky, the little stars climb, always reminding me that we're apart. You wander down the lane and far away, leaving me a song that will not die. Love is now the stardust of yesterday, the music of the years gone by.
There we go. So I think that's all for the people that sent me pictures and whatever, and I thank them all for that. So how do you what do you see as the future of the RE gathering, and what and my future with them or whatever? I guess I'll may as well.
What date do you have?
For this year?
Uh-huh.
September 19th to the 27th.
Ooh. And where is it?
Well, it's in my area. I'm not going to say specifically, but in my regular place.
Canada?
BC, in British Columbia, yeah.
British Columbia. Well, I see you're going to have some people. And you're going to have some new people, a lot of new people, a lot of people that are so curious, and it's their first time actually camping out and coming, and the energy is so high. It's like ripped. You know, it's like, woohoo! Yeah. I see a lot of drumming, a lot of noise, a lot of dancing.
That's
running.
me.
And the Sasquatch definitely there. It's almost like you're showing me where you're stomping, like you come up with a song where you stomp. I don't know if you do a stomp.
Yes.
Do you do that?
Yes. I march around drumming, yeah.
Okay. But it's like when you stomp, then everyone's going to stomp with you. So there's some in there where you kind of choreograph a dance. It's like your Sasquatch dance. It's like 3 steps to the left, 3 to the right. I don't know how you do it, but you come up with your dance, like calling in the Sasquatch. You do it with music, but also with a movement, some kind of a movement, like when you take the circle and you move around, where you're dancing in the circle, something like that. And then you're showing me specific people get called to come out in the middle and dance their dance, kind of like channeling Sasquatch. That's interesting, huh?
That is.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And so then when it's the energy stops, then they can, walk back and join the circle again. But it's kind of like a dance, the Sasquatch, and it's really high. And so then the people know it's kind of like something beyond themselves. So where they full body channel Sasquatch in the middle. And I see 3 to 5 people doing it all at once too. So it's really beautiful, really beautiful. And it's a beginning of a new foundation too, to where it exponentially grows rather quickly. So be prepared to gather your team to help assist you. You're going to have a lot of people say, how can I help? And give them a list of the things they can do. And Sue's really good at organizing all of that. Like go to Sue. Sue will tell you what we need, what to bring, and how we're going to do this. But you're really building a large team for it to really be something pretty big, Brian.
But I
Not
want
that
to keep it. I always want to keep it organic, though.
I know it's nothing you ever wanted. I'm not, but it's kind of starts to have its own life, right? Where you kind of step back and in a way and direct it, but um, keep that organic part that's so important to you. Doesn't mean it has to be. It's more about you letting control and trust.
Sorry, I had the dogs barking. I muted it. Go ahead.
Okay, that's it.
Oh, okay. Did Joe or
Yeah, I have a question actually. I've been waiting for my chance here.
Okay, thanks, Joe. That
so
was
just
cool.
that's awesome. So I have a friend that I've known for quite a while. I guess I've known him for about 10 years now, and I've only recently become closer to him in the last couple of years or year and a half or so because he really helped me out of a bind about a year and a half ago. And recently we were having a discussion on the phone, and it was about we was trying to talk about the journey that I'm on a little bit with this with these people. And for him it's too much. He gets completely disrespectful, and it's almost like he starts putting up walls, like maybe he's afraid or something. I'm not 100% sure what it is. I don't know if it's complete disinterest or lack of respect, or if there's something else going on with him. And I can tell you his name if you want to know, and maybe you can, if you mind, do a little reading on that guy about his possible experiences. Is there anything you can do that way?
Yeah, I can see him right now through you.
You can. Okay. Don't need any other information from.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
The first thing I get is his judgment. He has some judgment, and that's where he gets shut down. Because life should be a certain way, and that's his comfort zone. And you definitely rock his comfort zone just by being who you are. And what's funny is, because you have been friends for a long time, that actually you're peeling away his onion layers, and your job is just to be patient with them and just be who you are and continue to show up, and it'll do its work. It just won't be at the pace that you like, because your comfort zone's very different. His is slower, but when he does have that aha moment, he changes really quickly, and you'll really like that. So it's coming. You know that it's coming, but it's at his own pace, so you can respect and have patience with him. Okay.
Okay. Well, the reason why I asked, and I wouldn't really ask about whether or not he had fear or if it was judgment or not, because he's he's like he's got a claim, and it's in BC off the Coquihalla Highway, and so he basically spends time out in the bush too, and he's gold panning. So it would seem to me that maybe it's possible he's had an encounter, an experience that maybe he was uncomfortable with, and he doesn't even want to think about it anymore. Because I know that several times I've heard people's stories where they've had some sort of an encounter they couldn't describe,
Right.
and as soon as they kind of went there with it and thought maybe it was one of these, well, they would refer to it as one of these creatures,
Right.
that they might shut down.
Yeah.
That kind of.
I see that he
And I
has.
thought maybe.
He has
Yeah.
definitely that comfort zone, and so, but by you just continuing to show up and tell your stories, it softens it for him. And there will be a time where it's like you're chipping away, and you finally get to that core, and then everything breaks open.
Well, he's really, really he's very, gives me the very distinct impression that he won't buy into it at all.
I know those are the
He
best.
won't. It's just absolutely heels dug right in. And I don't care. I don't want him to buy into it. I just don't want him to be disrespectful if I talk about it a little bit, right? Like I would never do that to him. He's got lots of hobbies I don't care
Yeah.
for, but I would never just trash him for it, right? You don't do that to people you care about. So
Yeah.
I was really upset about that. And, I got over it really quick, but at least now I know where I stand with that guy. And now I know I can't have that conversation. He's not a safe place to talk about this. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm kind of
Yeah, but,
resign myself to think. So
and you're real in tune with your own intuition, and you'll know whether you should share something or not, or if the timing's just you'll know. But he asked you for a friend for different reasons, and part of that is he probably will have another experience, something that he can't deny, and you just happen to be there to be a good listener, and I see that's how it's handled. And it could happen. I would say within it's like 3 years. It's going to be a little time, but it's there.
Mm.
Okay.
Wow, I'm going to be around in 3 years.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Good to know.
We have another question from the Pork and Beans Peanut Gallery.
Okay, it can change. It's just what I see for now. And you guys have a good relationship as brothers. You're like brothers in a way because what's great about you two is that when you communicate, it's at the same exact speed. So there's a link there, and it just goes. It's like hums. It's really cool to look at. All right.
We have a question from Laura Lonnie B. McKinley. I think it's Lonnie. Leunee B. McKinley. And I'm not going to go look for her picture because I just screw everything up when I get off here. So.
Okay.
But it's Lonnie B. McKinley. I know the name. And she asks, am I getting glyphs from Sasquatch and or little people?
Ooh. Well, the little people show up first is what I get for her, especially with the four-leaf clovers, having to do with clovers. I don't know if she has any clover, like the Bonnie clover. It's all this clover, and she's showing me these small mounds of clover and moss and ferns, like the fairy houses, the little sparks, especially at the root of a big redwood tree and all the fern forest. This is where she walks softly on the planet, and she has a lot of deer energy and beauty, grace, but don't mess with her. Because she's a really strong being as well, and she could kick butt if she needed to. So, and with that, she's exploring her relationship with the Sasquatch, especially with the females and their sense of play and fun. And I don't know if she's been to a gathering, but she's looking at going to a gathering, and she'll get a lot of her answers there because she has a lot of concepts in her head. But when you show up at a gathering, then you get to work with those concepts in the body, connected with other bodies that are connecting. So that's what's the missing link so far. So it's with connecting with other Sasquatch in the body. And then a whole bunch of lights go on for her. Boom, 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 boom. For her next steps. So, okay. So I just keep talking, I guess. What do you think, Sam? Oh, I know this guy. I forget his name, though. Patrick. Right? Isn't it Patrick? And that's him with his picture of the Sasquatch hair that he found at the gathering. Not this gathering, the gathering before.
Brian, you're still muted.
muted, Pork Cunningham.
It doesn't help to talk, Brian, when you're muted. That doesn't. If you have to push the button.
I said it's good that he has some hair in his hand because he doesn't have much on his head.
Yeah, that's probably the cosmic joke. Right?
See, this is why I need a producer. That's why I was trying to get like Beef Wellington kind of betrayed us. He let us down. He wouldn't do it. And we're trying to dupe somebody into being a producer so I don't have to go.
Sam's too smart.
What? Sam's too smart for it. I know that. He won't do it.
I just like watching Brian, like, his mouth move.
Okay, so anyway, what can you tell us about Patrick Giggy?
Oh, Patrick's trouble.
I know.
Well, he's doing a gathering, in New York, a Sasquatch gathering in New York. I don't know what the dates are. Maybe he can put that in your chat. But he's doing his very first Sasquatch retreat as well. And he said that the Chinos are coming and Garrett Duncan are coming to that. So he's really excited about it. He has beautiful property there. And the Sasquatch have been on his land. So he feels really inspired to serve in the capacity that he can have a gathering on his land. So that's pretty cool. And he doesn't have a question per se?
Well, maybe you can just tell him about his relationship with Sasquatch. Maybe I'm sure you'd like to hear about. He just, no, because basically he said he was coming on the show and then he didn't show up. So
He was in the chat for a while.
He was?
Yeah. Don't you watch the chat?
Well, I sent him the link, man. He told me he was coming on live. So, I mean,
Oh, that. I don't know anything about that.
I was on top of it. So, anyway.
Okay. Well, yeah, he's going to have a great gathering. And again, where he'll just go with the energy of it and he'll know. It's kind of like he was really inspired. And then he said, I'm going to do a gathering. And then part of him wanted to get out of it. What did I just say? I'm going to have a gathering. What the hell? That's a lot of work. That's a lot of organization. That's a lot of energy. That's like time and money and dang, I got other things I need to do. And so there's a part of him where he's a man good to his word. And he said he would do it. And so he's going to do it. And he'll do it he'll pull it off in a really good way. He's kind of like meant to do gatherings because he's a very organized guy in a lot of ways. He says he's not, but he really is. So
is his gathering going to be better than
Brian?
Who I wouldn't say. Yeah.
And Kelly? It's going to be, different. It's I'm being diplomatic, right? No, Brian Plans is number one.
I didn't name any names. I'll go on record. I didn't name any names.
Hey, man, no expectations at mine. You just show up with your tent and a little food, and then away we go.
Yeah, away you go. I think it's a topic. And
they're all good. They're all good for their own. Every one of them serves a great purpose. They're all
calling. I agree. You'll know if I'm supposed to go or not. You'll just know. And so, are you inclined to go to New York? It's somewhere just outside New York, though, but I can't remember where.
Are you asking me if I'm inclined to go?
Yeah.
No, I can't. I'm a criminal.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I smoked marijuana when I was 17 or something, and now I'm a criminal.
Well, you can fix that. That'll get fixed.
Yeah, I can fix it for $3,000 every year. $3,000 US.
A year?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go through this big rigmarole, or whatever you call it, however you say that, and it's $3,000 US, and then you have to do it again in another year. And then if they like you, they might give you 5 years a second time, but it's never goes away. Put it that way.
Why don't you fly to Mexico and then just walk across the border?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah. Ooh,
I need a Tijuana taxi though.
You just wear one of those sombrero hats.
Yeah, 6'4" Mexican. I'd really slip under the radar there.
or you can get 300 people to give you $10.
That's why Mexican people don't play basketball.
Oh, that's terrible. You
I
can't
know,
say
but hey, is it terrible? They're generally a little shorter than some other people. Is that terrible? That's an observation, isn't it?
You know what Coca-Cola says? Try to be less white.
yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny, ever since I heard that, I never drank Coca-Cola again.
Every once in a while, I need a Coca-Cola.
I took the Pepsi challenge until they say something stupid. Then I'll just go back to water or something, I guess.
When I go visit my family, my mom has in a refrigerator, if I ever show up, Orange Crush.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't.
Screen share for a little while. I mean, in this, we run on the
I
ball.
I don't support big corporations that support stupidity. Just to go along with the public narrative, so they can sell their product to somebody else.
Yeah.
Barbara, your name of your show is the Cosmic Oracle Show.
Yes. Cosmic. No, I don't think there's a T in front of it. Just Cosmic Oracle Show.
Cosmic Oracle Show. It's been going on for 7 years, and you're on once a week.
Mm-hmm. Every Friday.
Yeah.
5 to 7 LA time, 8 to 10 New York time, and then I don't know what Mountain Time is.
Well, I've got a question about the Cosmic Oracle. It's I've been hearing a lot of rumors that there's wars going on and underground tunnels and the SASQUATCH people and the ET people working together, and I just wondered if you have any kind of a feeling or update on what's going on with the war in space and if the Sasquatch and humans and Sasquatch and ETs are all going to get together sometime and we'll all have a big party or what?
I think we've already had a big party at the gatherings with Sasquatch for sure. And as we all know, ETs live among us anyway. They could be your neighbor. They look like us. They breathe like us. They maybe not breathe like us, but they've been a part of our history forever. So it's not a big deal. Yeah, there is some war going on. There's always some war going on. It seems like around Earth that for control, right? It's always about control with us, and it's that elite that has all that control. Are they going to lose that power? Well, they are, but they're not going to go without a fight, right? They've been at it for so long. They're not going to go down without a fight. But I think what's happening, though, is maybe what they didn't count on was a lot of people coming together, right? And saying no. And it's kind of like the people themselves, which was us, that we're not going to do this anymore. We're not going to be controlled. We're not going to be conditioned. We're aware. We want our history. We want our real history. We want to know where we came from. We want to know our heritage. And so we're taking back.
That's a big one. Those guys squashed our history real bad.
But it's all coming out now. The truth is finally here about, the giants we talked about, the Anunnaki for sure.
Mud floods and past disasters and all kind of stuff.
Right. Our whole connection with the earth itself and our relationship to our creator. That's, you could just make a whole list and I get pretty pissed about it. And that's why I have a show. That's why you guys have a show, because we get to have a voice and say, hey, this isn't working. Let's come up with some solutions. And so I think the big key is we have a lot of power if we connect. That's the main one, just by us all coming here, just us here today, going to have a ripple effect. But if we get together and really it's like consumer power. You can take a business down by not buying from them anymore. And then when you do, that's not the only power we have as consumers. That's not our only power. It's like, I'm only as good as my credit score. I don't think so. So kind of like, uh, it's to question all of that and then create what it is we want to create here. And we have these extraterrestrials, we have Sasquatch willing to really help us humans, and they've been so patient with us, right? So we're not alone in this at all.
Yeah, the Sasquatch don't have a government and they don't have money, and the ETs don't have a government and they don't have money. And I think that's kind of profound.
Mm-hmm.
There's this lady, Elena Danan, and
Mm-hmm.
she's like a psychic lady for the, she might be on your show if you looked her up.
Sure.
But she's kind of up there in the luminary kind of real high vibe. She channels this guy named Thor or something like that.
Oh, I love Thor. Thor's the one who saved me. I wouldn't be here without Thor.
Well, she was saved by Thor too, but it was a ET named Thor.
Okay.
And he's part of some federation or something. What she just put up a video. Somebody else just put up a video from her intel was that the Germans are leaving Antarctica. They've kind of deducted that the German dark fleet has left Antarctica, and then now all the people who work on the bases, on the underground bases, all the Germans are leaving. But they can't all go up on the craft, so they're leaving on the ships and stuff, and they're all kind of pissed off.
Wow.
Yeah, so this has just happened this last week.
Wow.
And so the Chinese are running in there all these different countries are trying to run in there, trying to like gobble up that because they had underground bases there for thousands of years, so they have all this technology and stuff. So that's kind of a big deal when the Germans are leaving. But if they leave, that cuts down the human-based space fleets, cuts them down by one. So now I think we only have 3.
Why are they leaving?
I think they got their asses handed to them. They had the choice: either get blown up or leave.
Not much of a
By this guy Thor and a bunch of other councils and stuff that are, and partially the Americans, but Americans don't have that much power in space. They do have a footprint, but not as much as the Galactic Federation or whoever those guys are.
Right.
The good guys.
Yeah.
See, you caught my interest, Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your. You said Thor saved you. Is
Yeah.
it a long story, or can you share that with us?
Yeah. On my
This is the Thor with the big hammer and the Viking guy or whatever, right?
Yeah. And I just want to say one more thing to Michael. It's we're going to have some interesting times coming up, right? It's like, I think we talked about this before. It's almost like, things are so messed up and so screwed up in so many ways that now that people are saying, we consider this a divorce. And when you divorce someone, it's chaotic and it's not easy. It's uncomfortable. There's some anger. There's, a whole bunch of things. But then out of that is a new beginning. And that's where we're going to go. It's that we have a new beginning. If we can seize this, if we can seize this opportunity and really go for it.
So you think we're winning? We're winning, right? You think we're winning?
I don't know if there is a win or a lose. I think we're going into a whole different thing. It's just, it already is a destiny for us if we just trust that. And doesn't mean, let's see, I could go off so many ways. Let's see. So it's not just generic either. We just have to show up and be aware and talk about it and show some light in that darkness so that we can change it. That's all. And we can change it. We might not able to move those people out of Captain Commander Byrd's or the Antarctic, where where the whole NASA, and that's a whole nother thing. God, I'm doing like 20 things at once right now. So where was I? There's something in that. I was going in that for a reason. I guess it has to do with, we have so much information that comes in of all the things that are going on, that you just take on all the information and then you don't do a goddamn thing. So if you can gather all that information, what's one thing that we could do today to have more power in all of this? What's one thing that we could do?
What's one thing we can do to have more power?
Yeah.
Well, if you're asking me, that it is to take what was imprinted in us, this history, and the lies and the corruption and the endless wars and the poverty and the brutality of the church and the genocide that we've all had to participate in, and just corruption and everything, to take that and just totally reject it from our soul. Just say that's not who we are. That's never who we were. Just reject that from your soul, because this stuff, the war on consciousness that are being fought, that we've been the victims of, has to do everything with the Akashic records. If it's written in your soul, it is written in the Akashic records, and that means the next time you're incarnated, that is your history, and that's what comes with you. And so we need to eliminate that stuff now from inside our soul, from inside our operating system, that's not who we are. That's not that we are victorious over the oppressors, and that we are more heart-centered than this heartlessness that's been going on the planet, and then confirm that inside of ourselves, so that goes into the Akashic records, and that becomes the foundation of who we are for the generation after generation, because that's really what's been going on. There's nothing manifested on Earth that it wasn't manifested first in the Akashic records, which is what we would call karma.
Mm-hmm. And we have the right to say no. It stops here in my lifetime, right? Like you're talking about. So, and how do we do that? Well, we get in tune, like through meditation or through walks in the forest or singing or swimming or whatever that is, and into that ether, that part that you're talking about,
or voodoo dolls, that would work.
The woo part, right? Your
voodoo dolls, just
right.
Right.
I have a suggestion, Barbara.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we were talking earlier about the all-pervading energy, right? I mean, like, just it's something that you can tap into to do remote viewing. Like if you wanted to connect with people on the other side of the planet, and Sabi do it all the time. They can connect to people, through that energy all the time. So I guess what I'm saying is, what we can do is really just remember that we have the ability to put forth a positive contribution to that field of energy, and by doing so, I think just it's really the most you can do, really, because it doesn't go away once you've contributed to, I think, that energy field, that positive energy. It doesn't go away. Right. I think what you do is, I think you just keep creating and creating, and the energy just keeps building and building. It doesn't, I don't think energy goes away. I think energy is created and it stays. I think it's just, it never goes away. I think that's the great thing about it. And probably the truth about the energy on our planet that we can all access. Nikola Tesla knew that.
It doesn't go away, but you can edit the ending. That's the whole point, is to edit the ending. When you edit the ending, you edit the results.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. We're changing it up. It's change time.
Change the ending.
We do what we love. We have a voice, and we kick ass at whatever.
Well, it's like tipping the scales. We need to tip the scales.
Right.
That's what it is. We need to have more, on the right side.
It's a big different story when saying we were slaves, and then then you're born the next lifetime we were slaves. But if the story is we were slaves and then we rose up against the king and kicked him out, that's a whole different story. and we became sovereign, and we became communities and stuff. That's a whole different story than we lost. We're victims. We're serfs and slaves and the unknown and the unwashed and the whatever it is, the deplorables.
Right.
It's a different story.
And with all who are listening, these are people who are living their values, which is different than what we were raised with, most of us. I'm older, but it's like, you had to get the best house and get the most stuff and competition and control. Really, we're going to a new world order, and I call it the new weird order, which is where it's intuitive. It's more intuitive based. It's having a heart open, and also that doesn't mean that you bow down to anybody. So you do have to come together, and that's the key, that we come together and change the things that need to be changed. And I know Sam has something to say because I can feel it. So what is it, Sam?
That's hilarious. Yeah, we're stepping out of victimhood and into creatorship. Like, we're creating. We're breaking free of all the programming and conditioning and gaslighting that we've lived with for generation after generation and lifetime after lifetime, and that's kept us contained. It's kept us hobbled, and as people, we never really realize our power because we've been told for so long and programmed and conditioned to think that we have no power, that we're just
that is silly to think that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that we're controlled by everybody, but we don't even realize how much power we do have. And they've taken our power away, like by tricking us into thinking we have no power. Yeah. And now we're waking up from that and we're realizing that we have all the power. So like what Michael's saying, we've changed the ending by visualizing what we want, just focusing on that, living that life as if it's already happened, and then you just create instead of living as a victim.
Yeah, and peace on our planet. We can't have peace here. We are really a peaceful, beautiful, loving, kind beings. Humans are. We're not war. If if people you don't want war. People never want war. I don't see anyone wake up, hey, I want to go have a good war today, unless it's someone who makes a lot of money on it or control on it or power on it. But most human beings, they just want to be with their family and their loved ones. We all learned that if it wasn't in your face, COVID brought that. It's like people this last year have been in a tobacco circle for a year. You had to keep facing yourself and cleaning it down and narrowing it down to, oh, this is me. This is who I am. This is what makes me happy. This is what I'm here for. So it's in a way, it's been a good thing. And I don't think anyone was expecting that.
We're not a war. Like, we're not like a warring first people. But when all you see in the news is that's all they show us is wars, and then they show us all this stuff, and it makes you think that's what we are, and we get tricked into believing it. Well, it's not. I mean, because that's why the news is never good news. It's always meant to hold you down and keep you negative and keep you like feeling bad, because the whole
narrative about that we're just destined to destroy ourselves, like that is such bullshit, right?
Yeah.
We have to learn to be heart-centered and think with our hearts or whatever, because all the lies and the stories are in our head, and they're all false. They're all false. That's the whole thing. Hey, we get Deb Matthews on here, but no picture. Are you here, Deb? Can you hear us?
Mic's on.
Deb?
You might not be in front of the camera.
Oh, Barbara Jean, I have actually one more question for you. If we can do that one more time about something that's not really like personal to me, but just your opinion on something, and maybe you have like specific knowledge. But I'm curious about, and I guess for me, it was on May 18th in the 80s, and that's my birthday, so that's kind of why I remember all this. Like so. But the Mount St. Helens eruption and how it affected the first people in that area. I'm wondering if when, wherever you were in the world at that time, if you were aware of anything that was going on, through the field of energy, were you able to, have the same degree? You must have been able to do this for quite a long time. So I'm just curious if there's anything about that time in history that you can remember feeling about or intuiting.
Okay, with Mount St. Helens in
Yes, the
particular.
eruption, as it affected the
When you say that, I have. You're gonna crack up, but this is where I'm gonna
okay,
take it.
that's
Okay.
cool.
I have a Christmas ornament that was made out of the volcanic ash, and it's a spaceship.
Oh wow.
Okay, from that, and it's beautiful. It's turquoise and blue, and again, it's where people. We're on a little planet spinning in all these galaxies, and, really, and so with nature herself things up, it's where it's really to look at what's important to us, right? What's here, and what are we busy doing, and what is our footprint here on the planet, and our association with it, because one swoop of a volcano and everything's gone, and so our time here is really a gift, and so it's where we can use it. For me, I'll just say for me, not for everybody, and we all find what resonates best for us, and I'm here to change things up. There's a lot of things, probably have a whole list of things that aren't working on this planet, and if I just pick one or two, so I picked these couple things that are really important to me, and I'm going to stay focused with that and help change that while I'm here. And if we each do that, then it should exponentially grow into a planet like Sam was saying. We're co-creators here, and we get to create. And I'll tell you this: when I was, I just had a reading with someone, and sometimes it's good to have a reading because it stimulates things. And on our planet, we have the white and we have the black. We have the for and the against, the yin and the yang. But really, what's been missing is that green part. And I think that's the part that the Sasquatch holds. And we're a part of that movement, this green movement, that it's that original Eden never left this planet. And that's what the Sasquatch hold. They hold that green. And when I had my near-death experience and they took me over mountains and mountains of miles of green forest, and that's our original earth here, and it's still here. And the Sasquatch hold that, and they have a relationship with that, and they know it, and we've lost it. So it's us coming back to that green part. The more that green grows, the white and the black fall away, and then we have our earth back again in a really beautiful, evolved vibrational standard that can fit in a galactic system. How's that for a spin-off, right?
That's the most beautiful thing I've heard in a long time. That's really beautiful. That the Sasquatch hold.
And green.
Yeah.
Here's
Oh,
Deb
And
Matthews.
green's also the heart chakra is green.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we haven't left it. We almost lost it, but we haven't. And it's
Right.
worth fighting for. It's worth growing for. It's worth getting uncomfortable for.
Here's
Like, for that. Thank you, guys. Got it. Here all of that.
Can you see this picture? This is Deb Matthews. She has a question for you.
Okay.
She says, "This is me at 17. When I saw the Bigfoot in the canyon run in front of our car, can she connect to him and give me a message?" And her name is Deb Matthews, and
Okay.
she's been on the show a lot.
Yeah, he's never left her. So he's been with her the whole time. And there's a part of her that projected out of the car and went into that Sasquatch and kind of ran with him. I don't know if she remembers that, maybe. And so then she came back into the car. So she actually had an experience with that Sasquatch. So he walked with her and she walked with him. Probably as a kid, she would walk around like, like a Sasquatch or like a giant, like kind of like the old movies with, what was it, with the big giants that are crushing all the buildings, kind of like that. Anyway, so yeah, so all she has to do is call in. He's right there for her, and she's very protected, and she knows this, and she has
Godzilla.
Oh, Godzilla! Yes, Godzilla. That's it. So she like that, and so she has a lot of power in her body. So so run that, and she'll get her answers by tuning in with that, especially the third chakra, and moving it.
Okay, she's got another question. That's kind of interesting because, like I said, when Mary was talking about my relationship with RE, she was saying that he was from the time of the giants, and that I was from that time too. And so Deb Matthews' question is, and I'm sure she didn't hear that part, but anyway, she asked, am I also a giant?
Yeah, we just talked about that, right? There's your answer. She's a giant in that realm for sure. We all have had many past lives where we, in a past life where, I was a Lyran being. I was a lion-headed, 18-foot-old giant that fought for the humans and for this planet. That's a whole nother story. And so some of us have had many lives protecting this planet. It isn't our first rodeo here, but this time, gosh darn it, we're doing it, right? It's happening because we're tired of this bullshit. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amen.
Sam, got something?
Oh, just agreeing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we got a few more minutes, whatever, if we're good.
I don't know what all this political stuff is about the giants. As far as I can tell, in my worldview is that the giants were really on our side. And when these dark kings and these warlords tried to take over the world, then they came up against the giants. And maybe we didn't win, but the giants were always on our side, and the Sasquatch people and the Dogmen people. So we had the Dogmen, the Sasquatch, and the giants all working, in our wars with us. And but now they're all demonized.
I think part of it too is that some of them left. A lot of them come and they don't stay very long, and they're out. But if we call them in, and we can do that in meditation, that they're willing to help us. Our planet is worth saving. It needs saved. She's been calling out for a long time, and we've been busy. We haven't been listening to her. And so it's been time. And, all the First Nations talk about these days when the Rainbow Warriors come together, and we've had enough already. And we're doing peace on the planet. And I know that's an Aquarian song too, but maybe, Sam, you should make a new Aquarius song. Okay. I'm, about the age of Aquarius coming. It doesn't have to sound like that. Only one song that we have. But yeah. So it's
Barbara.
Yes. Yeah.
Are there people on this planet right now screwing with, I guess, some of these people and maybe mutating them in some ways, or creating mutations and sending them out?
Exactly.
And because the reason why I ask this is because I have it on pretty good, I think I have it on pretty good authority that there's aliens and or humans are taking people and or first people and mutating them and re-releasing them. And this is something that I don't know anything about, but it's something that I've just been told, and I have it on. I mean, this person is pretty rock solid with the information and where he gets it from. I just want to know what you think about that. I mean, you must have some knowledge of that.
Well, I mean, we come from gene being spliced, so a geneticist. I do.
But not in a nefarious way. That
Oh,
that was not in a nefarious way. But what
Yeah.
I'm speaking more of is now, currently, in this day and age,
I think
there's
it's.
something nefarious happening that way.
I think there is for sure. I mean, if you want to build the superhuman as a fighter, a warrior, right? And you make him more robotic, that whole robotic. But there's always going to be that. There's a part of that here on the planet. And we've been, been given. Everyone knows this. Been given, our DNA to aliens that don't have our best interest at heart either. I do believe that has been happening as well. That's how I do believe that story. I don't have anything to back that with, but it feels like that is true, especially generational for people that have a certain bloodline that have more of a propensity for, especially for being clairvoyant or intuitive, that they've watched and kind of a hybrid. I feel like I'm a hybrid in a lot of ways, not sure where that exactly comes from, but I know I've been played with, and like right now there's some energy hitting. So I'm just have it protected on the outside so it doesn't touch me, but it takes time to be aware of that so you can protect yourself and protect your space and protect your energy.
I just learned that. Yeah. Actually.
Pardon?
I'm sorry for interrupting you. I just learned how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
To a lot of energy coming in that I didn't really want. I learned how to put a shield up recently.
Yeah. Well, I teach this. I have a school I teach this sort of thing at. So been doing that for a long time.
Is that like it depends?
Pardon?
I was asking if his shield was anything like it depends.
It keeps the shit out, not in.
Yeah,
it's like an anti-depends. Or whatever.
A whole bunch of crap going on, I'm not going to focus.
Crap, coming and going.
I'm going to be aware of it, but I'm going to focus my energy on. So.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So, what are we going to say?
So the downhill.
Ari talked about being from the time of the giants.
Yeah.
What do you think he meant by that? And he said that I was as well. And it don't have to get so much into me as much. But what did he mean by that? The time of the giants? Did he mean he is a giant for the time of the giants? How do you see that statement?
Who is it? That could take a whole show. Oh gosh. Well, I mean, they found it and they tried to keep us the information from us. So now we know that they did exist and that the Anunnaki were actually giants by the tablets that they found, right? And my friend Leon Beebe in his book, who was on my show yesterday, talks specifically about that and about the giants and about their work with us, and that we're in their likeness, but we were also given a smaller time period to grow, right? And so our lifespan was genetically slowed down from the giants. The giants had a much longer lifespan than we did. They were stronger. So we're built in a way really to mine gold, like they said, but to be a subservient. And so in the genetic chromosomes, I forget how many we have and how many they have, but it's where we're genetically made to have a less life, but also we have a connection with spirit. That's where our power is that connection. And we can't forget that. And that was given to us. That was a gift through the people who created us. And that's that will have that direct connection, that direct power. So with the giants, they gave us like a smaller, like a mini me, I guess I would call it a mini me, of themselves. And so what I was told, and if you listen to, and he's an amazing scientific researcher, was that the energy that was given to us, and it's in a smaller capacity, we have the abilities to work as giants, but in a smaller body. Is all we have. We were created with a less lifespan, so that each generation we would die. Like we're building up something here, right? Everyone's feeling it. Well, then we all die out, and then reinvent the wheel each generation. So we're at a point where, with the changes in energy that's happening in the energetic field and our relationship with Nibiru and all of that, we're having a little bit of a quickening of escalating our vibration. And I know that I'm going to bring this all home, really, this vibration, so that we don't have to be subservient even more. And so what happens is it's kind of like a new big bang people are feeling that, where we, in a second, because they created us with a small life span, also in a second, we can turn that on so we have a long lifespan. And it's all scientifically proven. There's a Dr. Chan and his work, and there's a reference to it, all of this work in Leon Beebe's work in his book, I forget, Adam Equals Alien, I think it is. So back to that, the giants, they're like our star family, kind of like our star nations. They're part of us. We're in their image, from what I understand. Now, there's also giants from other off planets that don't fit any of this, that have been around. We've been around for how many thousands, millions of years, it's not, there's so much that we don't know that we're just opening. And that's really where the fun is to rediscover all of this. And so giants, yeah, it's part of our heritage. Yeah.
But when Ari was saying that, was she saying that we are the giants, or we are from the time of the giants?
I think both. I think both of those ring true for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be either or, right? We still carry that probably somewhere in our bloodline somewhere. Depends on our bloodline too, right? We're all each unique, and I think Michael talked about that. Michael, when we stand on our ancestors' shoulders to begin our life here, right? So I'm sure there's some giants in there somewhere,
Yeah, for sure.
Well, giants were supposed to be really dumb.
Pardon?
I'm making a joke. I said giants were supposed to be really dumb.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
And Jack and the Beanstalk, he pretty much did in a giant.
Yeah. Yeah. So is that conditioning, right? Or maybe there was a giant from another planet that wanted to screw with us, and we had to take him down. We found their vulnerability, right?
Yeah, the Indians had to kill a couple of tribes of giants because they were just, got out of control.
Yeah, there's one in Northern California. I don't remember the name of that tribe, but there's a story of that in Northern California about that.
Yeah.
Children, and they had to go kill it.
When did this happen?
Oh,
Yeah.
Not too long ago. And speaking of time, probably a couple 100 years. I'm just guessing, but it hasn't been that long. But you could probably look it up. You could probably find it.
What an interesting story. Yeah. If you find the information on it, I'd like to read about that.
Yeah, the California tribe and you probably just put that in there, where they killed a giant who was taking the children and eating the children. So they found it. And I think if I read, they might have found the bones, but then they disappeared, something like that too. But I'm not sure. So,
Wow.
and Brad Olson talks a lot about giants. If you want to look into giants, that's kind of his expertise, his work. And his book is the Esoteric series. I think his last book is Future Esoteric. And he talks about the giants. He would be good on your show too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're gonna have to throw us a few names to get on the show for sure, because you've had 7 years of
Yeah.
this on.
We're gonna have to break you off a few bucks there. We have to break you off a few bucks, Barbara, and have you be our talent agent.
Well, just whatever you guys want, I'll help. I love your show. I love what you're doing here, and it takes the pressure off me. I can kind of kick back a little bit. If like Sam has a show, the more shows we can get, the better. When I started doing this, no one talked about this.
Yeah. Well, we should maybe think of winding it down, but I was thinking, every show that we have, because Ari is kind of the guy that kind of put this show together, because he's kind of my inspiration. So would you like to channel Ari and see if he has anything to say for us?
I wouldn't channel him because it would blow out every socket I have.
Oh yeah, remember last time he went right in your body and stuff?
I did, yeah.
I'll bring him in anyway and see what he's got to say.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what he says. Well, and that's how we met, Brian, is through Michael. Michael Harrell introduced me to you, and we had the RE connection. And I was blown away because I wasn't expecting that at all. And, we were just talking, and boom, there he was. So, yeah.
He pretty well, anybody I introduce him to, he pretty well connects with. That's kind of, I think so, pretty much. But I mean, yeah, but I'm sure but he has to really like you and see a reason to. And he obviously connected with you, obviously.
Yeah. So let's see. Oh, silence. Oh, so he's picking a booger.
Oh, okay, I feel him now. He's here.
Yeah. He's just putting his hands on your shoulders and on my shoulder. And it was everybody who's listening. If you just close your eyes and tune in, he'll be there because he can, there's exponentially REs. So with that, he's just kind of taking the weight off the shoulders of the humans. We have a lot of burden that we carry. And so one of his jobs is to help take that load off and relax. And go deep into that second and third chakra, especially into the power center. And that we have to run it pretty high because of all of the stress that's created in our environment. So he's working on relaxing the belly, that stomach part, and where we can breathe down in that. And then he starts laughing and says we have to do like a silly dance. So, yeah. Okay. So it's and he's just showing me your gathering, Brian. Again.
The new one or the last one?
This new one coming. That it's an invitation to everybody. You'll be there. So he's inviting everyone. And I would run it through my body a little more, but my body's a little tired today. So.
Oh, that was so much fun.
I'm not going to.
Seeing you squirm and.
But maybe we can. Maybe next time, if you have me come on again, we'll start with that. Okay.
Oh, well, now you tell me. See, I should have started with that.
When you wear people down for 3 hours, you have no care. It's like we're slaves or something. Then you ask the important questions in the last 3 hours. Everybody's like, I'm dying. I gotta go to sleep.
I'm next time we'll start with that. He said no, so I'm gonna honor that.
He
'Cause
said no.
I never know, right? You could channel him though. I could hold
I
the
can
energy.
feel him.
We could all hold the energy. You could channel him. I can feel him, but
Yeah. He's been practicing his channeling. Practice your channeling,
practice,
Brian. Why not?
Brian, and we'll hold the energy for you to do it. Maybe that's what's up.
I'm feeling something in my head, like
Yeah.
Just open your mouth and let words come out. It'll sort itself out.
well, that's what you've been doing, but hasn't been working for you for.
I'm channeling God all the time. You just don't recognize it. When you raise your vibration, you'll be able to see.
Oh, I'm just not on the level to appreciate your mighty high holiness.
Yeah, that's about what it is.
I'm blind.
Oh, I can
see.
Don't sidestep this channeling opportunity.
So is RE? That's all.
Trying to dance around it. You feel him all the time, man. Just open your voice and let him talk.
Yeah, I feel him all the time, of course.
Sing. Let him sing through you.
Yeah, sing. That's good, Sam. I like that.
Let's hear those pipes, man.
Yeah,
Hold back, dude. We've seen your videos where you drum and sing.
I want to dance all night. I should have danced all night. La da 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 da. And that's about dancing too, right? I could have da da. I don't know the words. That's Sue always gives me heck. I don't know the words and stuff.
The words come out.
RE has the words, man. RE has the words for you.
You're right on, Sam. Go for it, Brian. Just sing it. Let go and sing it.
I did. What do you think I just did? No, I do that anyway. That's what I do. That's what I do out there.
Just don't interrupt with your mind.
As a matter of fact, Tom Cantrell told me that they told him one time they love me, of course, but he said, "Why is he so loud?" Like I'm always like I got a loud voice. I'm singing all the time out there. So I don't have a problem letting loose. We'll get Sam up here and we'll let loose together, write some songs and sing some songs, and and we can play with dinky toys.
Yeah.
Right, Sam?
Brian's a chicken. Brian's a chicken.
For what? Chicken what?
Look, you sidestepped. You're supposed to be channeling now, so channel in the IRE.
Sing it. Sing it where you let go. You don't think of the words, just let the words be sung.
Yeah, do star language stuff. SASQUATCH star language.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. I can see if there's any people in the house.
Don't look at anybody.
I got roommates. I got to go to the little boys' room for a second. So say something astute, and
I thought you were wearing a Depends.
Say something deep, Mr. Beans, while I excuse myself.
I thought you were wearing Depends. Can't you just go in your seat?
Yeah, but if I can actually make it to the wash, I don't like the wetness, the moisture.
Okay.
So it's a last ditch thing, right?
Why don't we just say goodbye? It's a goodbye time.
Oh, we can do that.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. And next time we start with you channeling Sasquatch singing. All right.
Yeah.
I'll be directing you. All right.
You got practice there, Mr. Pork.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, I guess on that note.
Bye-bye, boys and girls.
Thanks everybody for showing up. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and next time we'll start off with the heavy duty stuff. Thanks, Sam.
Take care, everyone.
I took the photos to work, so I don't
wait a minute! I wanted to show you something, please, before we leave. I got the monkey god Humanan, a picture of him. You want to see him?
Hanuman, not Hunaman.
Whatever his name is. You want to see Hanuman?
Hoodlum.
The hoodlum?
We love him.
I'll show him to you quickly. I got a picture of him.
All right.
And then we'll go. You see him? Here he is. There's his eyes, there's his nose, there's his monkey kind of thing, and his mouth.
I see him.
Oh.
See him?
Yeah.
You know what he's telling you? You need to read the Ramayana.
Too much monkey business. That's what he's talking. Too much monkey business.
There you go. Go.
Come on, man.
So there he is. Humanan, or whatever his name is. So the monkey is
Hanuman.
checking in on me.
Hanuman.
Okay, Hanuman.
Hanuman.
Be respectful.
Hanuman.
You see him there, Beans?
No, I didn't. I was looking at this little dark cloud. Looked like a little tiny monkey face up here.
Where? Point my. I'll tell you what. You direct my pointer to where
Go all
you're
the way
looking
up
at.
to go all the way up to the top a little bit to the right now. Right, that dark guy, and then where the keep going to the right a little bit more, and just the outline between the dark cloud and the sky behind it.
Oh, it looks like a little fox right here.
No, go up there. It's just to the left of the boxes is the chin, and then the mouth, and then the head of like a
this
little
guy?
monkey man.
Here?
Oh, I got a crow yelling at me, Brian.
Yeah. This guy?
No, that's not him. I'm talking about the dark cloud. You know, the light cloud
Oh,
and
man.
light and dark. Go to the dark cloud where we just now up to the right.
Here?
Right? Yeah, you're on him, okay? And that would be his ear right there. Now go to the right a little bit, and you'll see his nose and his mouth.
Oh,
There.
this guy.
Yeah, that guy's like a little monkey, little monkey man.
He looks,
Love you
like, the
guys.
wolf,
I
he
have to
looks
go.
like Lon Chaney, the Wolfman to me. Looks like the Wolfman.
How could it be the wolf man? We just got a little.
Is his
tiny
hairy,
nose?
furry stuff? Is his big Wolfman nose? His Wolfman lips and mouth? And, oh, whatever.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye, I love
Hi,
you.
Barbara.
Anyway, guys, that was
Best
Barbara,
show ever.
Yeah, she had to go.
okay. That was a great ending. Really smooth.
It was
Thanks,
fantastic.
thanks for ruining my story there, Beans.
About what? The Hanuman?
Oh, yeah, because I didn't see that guy you're talking about, but you didn't see my monkey guy
I
there?
didn't see a Hanuman.
See, that's the thing about you, is every picture I show you, you never see a damn thing.
Did you know Deb Matthews sent you 3 photos in the message box and you didn't get it? So you have to talk. You have to apologize to her letter, beg for her forgiveness.
No, I sent her the picture of herself that Barbara could look at.
In the chats on Zoom. Go look in the chats on Zoom.
That's too late, my friend. We've already lost. The show's over. It's too late.
Oh, so you're gonna snub her? Okay, I got you.
There should be. Hold on. There should still be a way to look at those.
I tried to
No?
download. No, I
Okay,
couldn't.
where is it? Do you have access to them?
I'm looking at them now. You got to look in chat. Do you know what chat is in the Zoom?
Okay, this is a little bit of overtime, pork and beans, guys. So this is going to be completely screwed up.
You should bring up her pictures. So Deb wants to know. Ask Barbara. These beings who are the beings flying around? You'll have to take the place of Barbara, and you'd have to channel.
In a song. You have to sing it.
With your drum.
Yeah. You're muted. Muted.
What's the question? Who are the guys dancing around?
You have chat. All you have to do is look in chat. There's a little button at the bottom that says chat.
Or maybe you'll have to hit the one that says more, because I don't have. I have to hit more for chat.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's end this show. I'm tired of looking for stuff.
Okay.
Right. Oh, look at me.
Well,
Holy smoke.
is Frank able to share those pictures? Can he
Frank
share them? He
Frank
said he's
got
looking
mad,
at
I
them
think.
right
Frank
now.
just-
How come you can't
Frank
share
just-
them?
Frank just dropped off.
Did he
Anyway,
look?
guys, thanks everybody
Okay.
for coming.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Brian.
All right, guys.
See
See
ya.
you. Love you guys.
Take care, guys.
we set to calling. Are you talking to me? We have a message for you. I could not help but listen. Children of earth must all become one family. Your leaders will not listen. But what could I do? People will listen to you. I'm just a poor fool. Please try to help us and make them understand.
Years ago, I worked in a natural organic health food store in Seattle, Washington, and one day a man walked in and he said, "If I melt dry ice, can I swim without getting wet?" I said, "I don't know. Let me ask Tony."